Hello, everybody!
Hello.
Surprise!
Hello.
We actually have one today. Let's go! How are we doing,
Surprise!
guys?
Hello.
Surprise! Welcome back to Shadows over Velda, episode 11. We've officially crossed over into double digits, and it's only up from here, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between, and neither above. We are going to start with our little question. We have a lot to get into because a lot happened last time, and there is probably going to be a lot of RP over the next few hours. So get comfortable, get yourself some popcorn, a drink. We'll use this first 5 minutes or so to talk about some cool stuff. And if you hear that in the background, that is Julitza assembling shelves for me because
Nice.
we are organizing my room because my brain is a mess. And it's okay because it's going to be great tonight. We'll start with an icebreaker question, and this one, now that we've hit level 4, the party's been together for 10 episodes. We've had almost upwards of 15 hours of gameplay under our belts together. We can get into a little more sensitive questions. The question that I had for this week is. Who would you build the shelf for?
Yeah.
No.
Hammer to the nail.
The question I have for this week is, what is your contribution to the party dynamic? What do you feel as a character is your character's contribution to the party dynamic? You can use tropes, you can use references to pop culture, you can use small phrases like "I'm the heart of the party" or I'm X, Y, and Z. But what do you think you bring to the group that makes each person shine and makes the whole unit stronger? I'm going to let you guys freeball it right now until I actually have to throw it right down the strike zone and pick somebody. So, who goes first? Who dares?
I actually call going last.
Okay, all right. I
Sorry,
guess we
guys.
can do that.
All right, Grizz.
All right.
Contribution to Grizz is going last.
I always go last.
I'll go first, I guess. I'll do it.
Okay.
Sure.
All in.
Okay.
The brains.
The brain.
Real.
Okay.
Actually.
I mean, that kind of. I felt like some of this stuff is like self-explanatory, but do you want to explain why you think you're the brains?
Have you seen my intelligence score for one?
Right, but like we could get a little bit more like
No, I know. I'm being
granular.
I'm being a butthole. I like to. Argentum is very calculating.
You've
And
seen, yeah.
yeah, they use their words to get out of and into trouble of different kinds. But definitely, I think what they bring to the group is like their intelligence and calculating nature.
Here we go. Guess what? Curveball. I get to twist the question now.
Let's go.
Ooh.
What do you do to weaken the party?
I don't want to say like they have a bit of an ego and a bit of a temper.
Okay.
And so I think that can create a little bit of a rub because there's a little bit of a pompous nature to Argentum, and I think they can sometimes be a little bit too sure of themselves. And that
Yeah.
can cause some issues.
Intelligence can, breed arrogance if you're not too careful. So
Mhm.
that's
Arrogance,
a
that's the word
fantastic
I was looking
assessment.
for. Thank you.
Fantastic answer. Again, you guys don't have to give away any secrets you don't want to. There's no. I'm not asking you to tell everything about your character. But from what we've seen, be a little bit reductive to your personality or what you've presented to the party so far. Zeph, I guess Grizz called last because you can do that apparently. So we'll dip over to our resident hotelier, Leju. Phoenix. What is Phoenix's greatest strength to the party?
Yeah, hey guys. I'm at Offkai right now, but hopefully the mic quality is not terrible.
You sound great.
Pretty good.
Yeah, so let's see. Contribution to the party. I think Phoenix at this point, I think he fills the role of like not really a straight man per se, but kind of like when he says the thing again, but like in kind of like an asshole way. Like sometimes like something that may not seem so like ridiculous in the beginning, like suddenly you
Right.
realize how ridiculous it is.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah,
a
yeah, I can see
secondary
that.
inspection. Yeah.
The second opinion.
Yeah.
You're the guy who's like, should we really do that, or is there something else to this kind of thing?
I'm like, is this really the best idea? Yeah. Even though
Yeah.
maybe sometimes he does agree, he'll still ask the question just in
He's our-
case, you know.
He's our straight man. He's the logical part of our brain.
I'm
That's a
not
fantastic
the
answer.
I'm not the planning guy or the thinking guy. I'm the
You're the
just
post
ask
nut
the question
clarity.
again. Yeah, I'm the I do be grabbing the nuts
Wait a
all
second,
the
was that
time.
really good? What was that? Yeah, okay. So what do you think you do to weaken the party? Or what you have
Weaken the
shown
party.
to do to weaken the party? Yeah, yeah.
I would say I think the thing that Phoenix does that weakens the party the most probably is, I mean, he's like not really like a trusting guy. I mean, it's not hard to tell.
Overly suspicious.
Yeah, he's a little overly suspicious, might be a little overly cautious. Like there's some parts where possibly just going with the easy solution is the good idea, but a lot of times he'll push for, you know, taking a more cautious approach or only doing things like sometimes he does favors for people, or like, you know, he'll like back up his team, but only in ways that aren't super risky per se.
You're the
Or, like, he'll-
person that would favor the long way
Yeah.
around instead of the shortcut.
Yeah, or he'll take
Yeah.
like the plays that he makes in combat per se are more leaning towards like overall benefit rather than like
Okay.
we're on the same
Yeah.
team. It's like instead of helping my teammate or like saving, you know, for instance, instead of saving Kelly from his cage, instead he'll choose to like fight the few targets that are close to him.
Sure.
Yeah. Like
Sure.
overall, like in the long run, it seems like to be the better play. But
Yeah.
for
That's a fantastic
team
assessment of what we've
dynamics,
seen so far.
it might not seem to be the most like altruistic or the most like team player type of.
Okay.
That's my answer.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, fantastic, and that's congruent to what we have seen of Phoenix so far. Calculating, not necessarily cold and unfeeling, but very cautious and making sure that this is this really what you want to do, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
fantastic, thumbs up, great answer. Let's pivot over to Juzo Sunder, our resident tiefling friend. We have seen you do all sorts of crazy things. Walk up to a boulet with 2 HP, and then punch him square in the face. The same thing to the first boss you walked up to, punched them. It's crazy. What do you think is the strongest part? Your strongest feature that you lend to the party is, Sunder?
I think Sunder as a character kind of plays the part of the loose cannon, fearless member of the party. He doesn't really
Sure.
care whether or not he's gonna die. He's doing what he can to protect the team. As you know, we saw with the Boulet fight, I was on the brink of death and I still chose to fight.
Right.
So he's got a very courageous heart. So I think that is one of the strongest points for him in the party. He has a
That's fantastic, and I cannot wait to
Very
see
strong
more of that courage come through in the future. I can't wait to see. I honestly expect to cry at a few moments where you get to show your true heart, because you've shown yourself to be this kind of bloodthirsty character, but I feel like there's a lot more to Sunder that we just haven't seen. All right, what do you think is the what do you do to weaken the party? What does Sunder do that may be to the party's detriment sometimes?
well, considering he has a fucking bounty on his head.
that might be it. I'm wanted.
one of the big things is he's wanted, so he's, you know, that's a huge issue. But I think it's just how quick he is to get into a fight. His temper is very much a thing that is not easily controlled. So he's very quick to just go headfirst into a fight without thinking, that could put the party in detriment.
Yeah. Also, he's Scottish, so
That too. Yeah, I'm also the only Scottish member of the party.
I kid. But yeah, that's a very, very good assessment. A fantastic combination of wonderful character traits and flaws that are going to make Sunder really shine. So yeah, and we've seen all of that stuff so far, and I cannot wait to see more. Great, good shit, good shit. Our resident
Thank
fisticuff master,
He's brave but
Sunder,
stupid.
brave but stupid, pure of heart, dumb of
Oh, yeah.
ass.
Exactly.
Okay, so we have.
Wait, I'm
Oh,
I'll be right back.
no, Chris, your turn. No more.
No
You can't be
way,
last.
Yeah,
Ben,
dude.
Ben's
Chris,
last.
This isn't happening to me.
Technical
No, it's
knockout.
happening, baby.
No,
You're
but
not last.
But how dare I answer without Ben being here to listen? That's inconsiderate and disrespectful of our great
You know
friend.
what? You're right. You're kind of right.
I'll go
right.
really slow. How about that?
Okay, yeah, really slow.
One word at a time.
So, let me think. That contribute. That's what was. Can you repeat the question for me?
Yeah. What does your character Zeph do to strengthen the party? What is their greatest asset to the party, personality-wise? Weaponry, whatever.
Oh my God, he's back.
He's
Yeah, I'm
back.
back. Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay.
You want me
Well,
to-
it's Ben's turn. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
What is the
I
wall's greatest asset?
think the wall's greatest asset is that he's the heart of the
There you go.
of the party,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that he, from what I've observed, this is just my assumption,
Sure.
but I think he's the one that has his eyes toward the dawn more than anybody else. He's
Right.
always the most hopeful. He's always the one that thinks that there will always be a way through and that the sun will rise the next day.
That's
Um,
really sweet. Yeah, no, totally. There have been some pretty grim times, but I've noticed that the character to make everybody smile and make everybody laugh and bring back some of those rays of sunshine has been the wall. But what is the wall's weakness? What does the wall do to the party's detriment sometimes?
what the wall brings to bring down the party is that he's dumb as fuck. You can tell him anything and he'll fucking believe you. He's got the
High five, bud.
he's so trusting in everybody that you can bamboozle the shit out of this guy and he won't even fucking realize it. He's
Yeah.
got his eye closed because he thinks it'll give him night vision, for God's sake. Like, come on.
Like a pirate.
Like a pirate, exactly.
We'll give him dark vision. It's fine.
He's just likely to get the party into social situations that are a bit sticky because
Yeah.
he's a little bit clueless about this stuff.
Yeah, that's a fantastic assessment. I feel like a lot of these things are what we've slowly been learning about the characters, and honestly, what the fandom has kind of like latched onto too. A lot of viewers have boiled your guys's dynamic down, but I'm very excited to see when some of these secrets get revealed, how that all changes. Anyway, Zeph, you're up, and you got to go last. Yay!
Yeah, good
What
for me.
is, after thinking long and hard for about 10 minutes,
Oh yeah.
what
I needed that.
is Zeph's greatest asset to the party? What does he bring to the party
Um,
that nobody
yeah.
else does?
Yeah, I think Zephyriel is the party's resident baby girl. No,
Is that a good
honestly,
thing?
I think
yeah.
so far, to be completely honest, in my opinion, I think the only thing Ray brings to the party is his connection to the religion, to the church, to the history, to Lolth, and to all of that stuff that has such a huge impact on even the present day.
Yeah. It's a
And
wealth
even
of
then-
knowledge. Wealth of ancient knowledge.
Yeah. But I actually feel like he's a bit more of a detriment than an aid to the dynamic, at least currently.
Is it
and I'd
is
say,
it the vision or does it go deeper than that?
I'd say it goes deeper than that. I think he is a bit too self-centered and
Oh, okay.
ambitious, but for the wrong reasons still. And
Okay.
I think that causes him to, where a party would normally connect maybe after 15 hours of playing, I feel like he has kept everything pretty transactional, and the party has not, grown close. Maybe because of that. I don't know. Maybe his vibe is bringing it down.
A lot to talk about after you sprouted some skeletal wings last fight.
Very true.
That's
Mhm.
crazy. And I'm sure we're going to get into that at some point today. But I guess you kind of combined what the fuck? I have a degree.
I did.
Combine those plus and minuses into some nice neutrality. But I love Zeph as a character because of that ambiguity. I like Zeph as a character because he is so, I hate using this term because Blizzard has recently destroyed my confidence in it, but morally gray. So yeah, that's fantastic, and I can't wait to see the needle sway in either direction for him as a character, and,
Me too.
and
I
us
think it
getting to
actually
enjoy
could
that.
go either way.
Yeah.
Still.
Okay, that said, let's pivot over to the table and get back
Let's
to
go.
where we were. Does anybody want to talk about anything crazy that happened last time? We had a lot of fun stuff, and the fight was very cinematic and thematic. In case if you missed it, viewers, we had our first major boss fight, quote unquote, and we learned a lot of stuff. What was anybody's favorite part?
Oh, my favorite
My favorite part is that we sucked ass.
Real.
Ah.
I mean, you rolled like
rolls
great as a
were
fucking-
bad.
Y'all need
I-
to sage your like computer setups or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can you
know
please
how
pray to the
sage
machine spirit,
dice?
guys? We
Like,
really need to
my
beseech the
God.
Omnissiah. Please. All right. Yeah, the rolls weren't great from the party, but other than that, we were successful. In what ways?
You know what? It's
No, go ahead.
that's right. Yeah, sorry. I'll go real quick. I was just gonna say Alpha's rolls are pretty good.
Yep.
I rolled them on the table, and we got 20s. Okay. There is no cheating. There was no flubbing.
I rolled pretty all right. I don't know. What you're talking about.
We silvery barbs that bitch several times.
My favorite part that I will remember for the rest of the campaign was when I did the thing and tried to frighten the bad guy, and it failed. But then Lezu hit me with the fucking silvery barbs,
Yeah.
and that's probably like my favorite part of the entire campaign. More favorite than the actual reveal of the wings and stuff. I like the fact that
Wow,
mechanically
okay.
he saved my fucking moment
Yeah.
there.
It's fun when the dice are just like, here's the story, right? I absolutely love
Yeah,
it.
I want to
We
remember that.
also will. Who else? I know Hayden, you were gonna say something.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was going to say leave me alone, okay?
Story.
Shut up. Wait you. I really liked using like Zephyriel as like an inspiration for using Writ Seizure on the like, spider
Yeah.
goblin. I thought that was just really, really fun. And
Yeah, I love the description that
um,
you gave too.
I just
Yeah,
think
me
that's
too.
it was cool, and I loved the reveal of Ray being a little Asimar baby there. I'm excited.
Let's
Yeah, there's a
go.
lot to talk about there. We
He's more like a Sassamar though.
the Sassamar. I love it. Write that down, chat.
Asimov.
That's the dynamic I bring to the party. Actually,
That's
the
it. Yeah,
answer.
Sassamar. That's
You're
both ends
you
of the
are the
spectrum.
Sassamar of the party.
Yeah, we popped a couple of goblin heads like grapes. We cut a few of them up. I will be honest. I think you guys probably would have had a really rough time had you not dropped those mud golems down.
Mhm.
You
that
mean had you not
were-
dropped those Mongols down?
Okay, all right. I realize I may have helped you guys a little bit more than I anticipated because those things
Thank you,
hurt.
Kelly.
But yeah, Kelly, there were cages that were suspended in this cavern. Dropped one of them down. Kelly managed to shoot one of them down. He is still caged. There are still like several other entities and groups of people in those cages, including what looks to be the goblin party that had helped you guys out in Downwater. The mist is kind of settled in this coliseum, and the raucous applause and cheering that you guys had experienced throughout the entire fight has quieted down to a very dull murmur as these goblinoids, most of whom were under the sway of the Threadfather, who you now learned was actually High Councilman Ken Magane of Ivranka. They seem very confused. Some of them seem I mean, dare I say, for these, animalistic tribal creatures, scared. Some of them don't know where they are. A lot of them were sacrificed in the fight to regain HP. The Threadfather called upon their life essences, and they fell to the ground as he became a little bit more vital. But that said, you guys trounced him. The last shot was from Phoenix. Phoenix's staff rifle just blew his leg off. Right now, Ken Magane is in his drow form, bloodied, broken, bruised, arms broken, leg blown off. His nose is broken. His glasses are across the Coliseum. He looks very scared. You also have the bronze dragon wormling, who is just ruckling and choking on their own blood in the far right of the Coliseum. They are not still, but they're still kind of twitching and every now and again, snorting and coughing. But they aren't looking so hot. As the dust and mist start to settle and the magics of the room begin to dim, what do you guys do?
I wrote it down last week. First thing
Yeah, there you
first,
go.
as soon as the things start to settle, Ray, I'm going to make my way over to the dragon slowly, and as I do, I'm going to try to not be as frightening looking if it seems tense by my approach, but I do want to give it lay on hands.
It has
15 points, all of
15
it,
points
and,
of lay on hands.
and
Okay.
each 5 HP that I give to a creature cures a disease or neutralizes a poison.
Okay.
Ooh.
So you see, as you lay your hand on this this bronze dragon wormling, you see he has. Let me scroll to him in proper. He has holes from these really sharp, pointed legs that the spider creature had been piercing him with over the entire course of the fight. These holes begin to start to close up and twist close and scale over these wonderful, gorgeous, honestly, almost ore deposits that are kind of dotting the hide of this beast. Thick neck running down from its head into a very long, rugged body. Even though this is a wormling, this is a very nubile dragon. It's quite large. It's about this, maybe 3 times the size of a horse. It's about a boulet and a half for a nice little recent touchstone. It looks a little bit more cognizant, but it's still kind of wary of people around it. It is not chained to the wall anymore, and as you
You're welcome.
touch this dragon, you feel a strange energy coming from its body itself, its brain. It runs down its spine, its nervous system, and you get a rush of information. You remember vividly that the war to end all wars, the great and final battle, was between Lolth and dragonkind. It almost stings to touch this creature, but you were so moved by its plight, so moved by something in you that is so far beyond your attachment to religion or Lolth as an entity. This is pity. This is something you're not used to, but even though you do remember this tense relationship between Lolth's arachnid followers and the draconids of the city and the stars, you just You just want to help. And with that, its breathing begins to steady, and its eye that had been poked out by one of the spider's legs begins to grow back and like an amethyst orb look at you, and it lowers its head.
I don't know if it can understand common, but I'm just going to whisper after all of that and say, the war of the past is not our present. You will be free and in the skies again before you know it.
You feel it understood the majority of what you said, and regardless, you are helping it right now, and it is acknowledging that. But the same energy that came off of this thing as you impart your life force into it tells you that it may just need some rest. Some of these wounds are so deep that it may just take a while for it to recover. It like starts to breathe ragged but steady, and it tucks its head between its massive claws and begins to fade away into unconsciousness. It's not dead. It's still breathing. He is still breathing. As you became one with it and delivered your life force, yeah, this is a male dragon. And he goes to sleep. Okay.
Go ahead, at least it isn't poisoned.
No,
Probably
it is not poisoned.
at the same time, my transformation begins to fade. Kind of like black ink begins to cry from Ray's eyes as he covers him back up with the blindfold, and wings retract, leaving like a big wound that he just covers by putting the rope back on.
Okay. As for the rest of you guys, you see on the ground in front of you, Ken Magane, who is slowly trying to pull himself over here to where his glasses are. And after a little bit of doing, he's missing a leg. He manages to grab his bifocals and shakily put them on his face as he once again looks at you guys with these pitiful, pleading eyes and says, this wasn't me. I can make it better. I promise.
Here we go.
Since Wall's the closest to him,
Sure.
he'll crouch down. He'll do like like he'll pop a squat. And
As you do that, he kind of like tries to push himself away from you in fear a little bit. But after he realizes you're not coming at him aggressively, he rests and his ragged breathing starts to steady.
Wall just like regards him. He's just giving him like a look to ascertain how much of a threat he is. And
Make an
then-
insight check.
Yeah, of course. Just open up this stupid little thing, and then I'll click this button, and then I'll click this button.
You click the button.
Wow, that's a nat 1. We're off to a great start.
He
Get him out
is-
of the way.
He is terrified right now. He looks confused. He looks like he doesn't know where he is. He looks like, I mean, obviously he's bloodied and beaten and within an inch of his life, can't move. He's actively bleeding out. He's delirious. So, yeah, I mean, he's in no position at all to be aggressive towards you guys.
Argentum would like to approach, not non-aggressively.
Okay.
They would like to approach Ken, and as they do, they will take off their belt that they wear around their waist, and crouch down. They'll look at Wall. Do you know how to tie a tourniquet around a wound? To stop the bleeding.
No, I do not have that kind of. I could try. I could learn how to do it now.
Well, then I'm going to teach you. But
Kelly from the cages goes, "Don't give him anything. He's lying."
I need him alive long enough to answer some questions. That is all.
He nods. Can
Our
somebody get me
gentleman
down?
Somebody get him down.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Forgot about that guy.
Trying to get Kelly out of the cage somehow.
And Argentum, you can continue with what you were doing while they manage to get Kelly down. Can you
Certainly.
guys? How do you get Kelly down?
I
Well-
mean, you know what? We'll do it the way he got the golems down. You know, I'll just see if
With
it
a
hits.
firebolt.
Sure.
See if it hits.
21 hits, dude. All
Okay.
right.
Just shoot the chain.
You hear the chains like slacking and reeling back with their spools somewhere deep in the coliseum, and Kelly falls 30 feet from the ceiling. Ah! Oh, son of a... Oh, God. And after about 30 or 45 seconds of him shoving debris and rods and pieces of metal and bits of wood off of himself, Kelly's bleeding. He took some damage from that fall, and he and hobbles over to you guys and stands next to our golem friend here, and looks at Phoenix and said, "Should have been a little more gentle with that."
I mean, you did it earlier. I thought it was safe.
Yeah, these are golems. They're made of fucking mud. Anyway, Argentum, continue.
Argentum is going to use their belt to tie a tourniquet around Ken's bleeding leg. And after doing so, they're going to kneel down, or like take like one knee beside him, and just sort of push up their own glasses.
He does the same, like mirroring you, but with a little bit of fear and his mouth agape.
So, what in the hells was that vision you implanted into my mind? And you better be truthful.
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm sorry. Kelly pushes past Wall, grabs Ken by what remains of his shirt and coat, and says, "You better talk, you son of a bitch. You killed my wife. I'm letting you live." He pushes him down. I don't know. I'm sorry. And he kind of grips at his thigh and cringes a little bit as he gets onto one knee and goes before you guys and prostrates himself. I'm telling you everything. You have to believe me.
You
Kelly
are
is
going to tell
indignant.
us everything.
Well, we can start by pulling off your fingernails.
I won't stop my friends from doing what they will. But I have questions for you.
I didn't kill your wife. And I didn't give you that vision. And I didn't hurt that dragon. And I didn't... And he tries to
What
project
you
his voice.
did. You may have been transformed into something monstrous. But it was you. The real monster was inside of it. You just had a little bit of magical assistance. Am I right?
You've got a point.
Mm-hmm.
And he deflates a little bit and fiddles with his fingers while he looks at the ground and the blood all around him and says, I wanted power.
Weak men
I-
always do.
I wanted the power to hurt those who hurt me.
Yes. And who hurt you?
The entire council.
Elaborate.
They never respected me.
Oh, here we go.
I was always the last one to learn everything. I was always the one. And he looks directly at you, Argentum. I was always the one in your position.
In
Getting
my
information.
position.
Making sure everyone that I interrogated, and he looks at those brass knuckles that have those gemstones on them, making sure it was always the truth, even if I had to give it to them. Yes, I have done terrible things in my life, but I fell down a slippery slope that it was an abyss I could not scrape my way out of.
You're referring to working for Veyroun, yes?
And as you say his name, it's almost as though you were pulling one of his fingernails out. It's almost as though you were twisting a knife that you had implanted in his abdomen. Yes. Yes. But no longer. No longer.
And why not?
It seems like you might have caught him in a lie. I don't know. I can't. Obviously, I can't promise anything, but I don't want it anymore. It's done. I don't like it. I don't need it. I don't need it. And he's like fighting something in his mind. You see flashes of purple and black across his skin and the veins in his neck. I don't need it. I don't need you anymore. And he takes his brass knuckles and throws them across the coliseum. I don't need this. And he's like in a fetal position with his stump leg rocking back and forth. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it.
Darling, what is the
And you-
ultimate goal here with Veyroun? I won't hurt you. I just want answers to my questions.
His breathing steadies, his eyes become lucid. He smiles. And then he looks very ashamed. He looks at Kelly and says, I wanted love. I wanted the power to make her love me. And we took it too far.
We.
He's not part of me anymore. I'm so sorry, Master Ryder. I did not. And Kelly pushes past him. You son of a bitch! And he brandishes his green glowing blade, Clover, and puts it to his neck. Give me one reason why I shouldn't kill you right now. Because she's not dead. Your wife isn't dead.
She's not?
Huh?
Insight check.
Go ahead.
He says insight check out loud.
You know what? That is the most Ray shit. So
I sure
yeah.
fucking do. I'm just listening. I want to hear when he's lying. Okay, I got a +2 to it. Let's just roll.
Get it, BB.
Oh wait, no, I need my sheet. Hold on.
I
That'll be more fun.
believe.
Ooh, there we go. 11.
11.
Not bad.
Hey.
He doesn't seem like he's in a position to lie. Kelly's got him, by the scruff of his neck. This blade is touching his deep purple skin, and just about to make an incision. He is. It seems like he's telling the truth. Maybe he's being a little bit extorted too, and it's something he didn't want to reveal. But he seems like he's telling the truth.
That sound like the first time he sounded like he's told the truth so far.
I don't know.
When he
With
was
an
threatened?
11, you're not quite sure, but this is as true as he has sounded.
Mm.
He's panting. Kelly drops his short sword. Where is she? You tell me right now, you son of a bitch. Where's my wife? She's dead. She is dead, but her soul is. And he grits his teeth and he looks disgusted. It's weighed down by love for you. She refuses to pass on. You can grab her still. There are ways. I don't know of them, but there are ways. You can bring her back. I'm not helping you, but you can bring her back. He looks like, regardless of the tourniquet, something is trying to take him. I'm telling you everything I know.
Zephyriel, darling, do you have any more healing in you?
What's the magic word?
Please.
Okay, I'll I actually do. I have I got 5 more lay on hands from from when we leveled up. So I'll give him those 5. It neutralizes disease and poison. And I'll
Okay.
like forcefully step on his leg to cause a bunch of pain, and then through my foot I will cast it. So lay on
And as you do that, he says, "No, don't." Make a wisdom saving throw.
Sure. Yes, sorry.
Ooh.
A wisdom save.
Ooh,
8.
Shit. Okay.
Hold on.
Okay,
Which ability is this? Hold on. There's so many forking things that I have. Blah.
I didn't realize my wisdom was so low.
Is it
Plus 2 is not that bad.
heroism?
That's with proficiency.
Oh shit. Never mind.
Yeah, I am the
Alright, great
like
start.
not the smartest, not the
And
wisest.
as you guys are doing this, you notice that the crowds on the higher up level have started to disperse and make their way into the walls and the caves and the little stalls and stands and tents and things that are dotted around the Coliseum. A few goblinoids have hopped down and gone in through the tunnel you guys came from. They are helping the injured ones. They are actively, trying to make sense of this whole situation. And yeah, there's some motion going on around you guys while you're maintaining this interrogation.
Yeah,
I'm just
I totally
double
forgot
checking a spell.
to mention the goblin.
Okay, it's not a reaction. I wasn't sure if I could cast it as a reaction. I was looking at heroism, but never mind. I can't help you.
Oh no. Okay. So you step down on him.
Typical Argentum.
You feel the energy.
bench.
You feel the energy leave your foot into your calf, out through your tendons. It feels you feel the telltale tingle of magic, but then you feel it blast back into you, and you take 5 points of radiant damage as the healing has no effect on him. I'm cursed.
I'm actually
I can't be
resistant to
healed.
radiant damage, so I take like 2. Wait,
Yeah,
what's
there you
half
go.
of
You take
mine?
2. That's 2. I'm gonna round down
Usually,
for damage
yeah.
and round up for damage you guys give.
That's so nice of you.
You're so kind.
I flinched. That's the last time I do something you ask me to.
I didn't ask you to.
Piss off.
I'm not talking to you, you pathetic little weasel.
I don't feel like I have much longer.
so
Was it-
sad to see all this happen. He says he wants strength, and he found it by becoming a giant spider thing. Is that what you people think strength is?
I'm strong enough to. He bites his tongue.
It could have been so much more simple for you, you little man. You could have gone out into the world. You could have fought in the army. There are so many more paths to strength that don't rely on your little god to give you a little gift. And now
I
look
killed
what you-
Baron Edo. Sorry, darling. What were you saying?
No, it is just lamentable is the thing. Your strength has led you here without a leg, lying down on your stomach like a little snake. And I tower over you victorious. Think about that as you die. And try better in your next life, yes?
And he, at this point, he is horizontal. His eyes are kind of like not staring at anything in particular. He's staring at like the bit of reinforced wall that's like underneath of him. It looks like his life is beginning to leave his body, and he says, I wish I could have done better. And his breathing stops. And it looks like he's gone.
Fuck.
What, is that bad?
You hear
Had
a
more
very distinct rattling. In Argentum, in Undercommon, 30 feet above you, you hear, "Hey, does anybody want to let us out of here?"
Oh. All right. I guess we're changing gears. Can someone get the goblins down, please?
I'm not getting this one.
Kelly is
This one's free.
focused on the corpse of Ken in front of him, just staring at it, thinking, gritting his teeth.
Is he? Is Wall and I still next to it before the goblins in the cages? Is he dead? Is there still any kind of like?
Make a medicine
aura?
check.
Okay.
Actually, no. Make an Arcana check.
Okay. Sick. Yay. I'm actually like. I'm a little better at that. Okay. Here we go. Doesn't matter because roll 20 is ass. I got a 3.
He looks pretty dead. Like, he's not breathing. He's not even bleeding anymore. Obviously the tourniquet helped a little bit, but like whatever was, you do learn this from an Arcana check. Whatever was killing him was from the inside out. It was some decay. It was some curse, some sort of nether magic that has corrupted him and his entire aura. But it does feel like there is a very small tether somewhere to something.
Veyron, if this was your chosen, I'm entirely disappointed. But not surprised.
You think a god would choose a worm like this as a chosen?
I distinctly remember him calling himself that before he turned into a giant spider.
Oh, if this is the chosen of the god we are hunting, then it will be an easy trip, I think.
We
Don't
wouldn't
get ahead of
underestimate the
yourselves.
gods.
As you guys are having these conversations, also the golems, you've noticed, have since started to combine themselves into one large golem that is about, 1.5 walls tall, a little taller than you, Wall. They move over into this corner here and kind of take a statuesque position, move slowly, even slower, and then you feel a magic aura upon them cease,
Mm.
and they become statuesque. They don't move anymore.
Fireball. Fireball. Fireball.
And there's a lot of other things in this Coliseum. Again, there's that pavilion near the very end. The dragon is still here unconscious. You have assorted
Right.
other cages that have been hanging. You have only gotten 3 down. I think you haven't gotten the goblins down yet. You got the golems and then Kelly. So there's 3 other ones that haven't been touched yet. You have an assortment of carriages, carts, trade crates and barrels, and lots of other detritus that have just kind of made home here in this Coliseum pit. What do you guys do right now?
You said Kelly's looking at the corpse, right?
Kelly's not just looking; he is staring through the corpse. It's
Mm.
he learned some pretty crazy shit, some hopeful stuff, but he's kind of mad. It's almost like he is mourning again.
I'm gonna walk up to Kelly and put a hand on his shoulder.
You scare him. Hey, bud.
It's good to have you back. Don't let this weigh on you too much. One, we took care of it. He's gone. We've avenged the death of your wife, but as you heard them say, there's a chance. I'm sure that we'll be able to find somebody who can potentially bring her back. I'm certain of it.
He looks at Sunder and he puts his hand on his shoulder. You help me?
Always. I've always got your back.
He gives you a very tight hug, and you hear him sniffling and stifling back tears. He says, "Thank you, my friend."
And I'll hug him back.
We're gonna get her back.
We will. We will. It's just a matter of time.
Kelly grabs you by the shoulders as he pulls you away, looks at you, nods. Hold on a second. And he gets down on one knee and rummages around on Ken's corpse and pulls up his hand and slowly pulls off the decrepit fingers from these set of brass knuckles that he has had. And you should take these. I have a sword, and you've got that fist.
Yeah, you're right. I'll make good use of these. And boy, do I have some stories to tell you when we find the time.
Please, I need to laugh again. Yeah, that was nice. So what are the rest of you guys doing?
Argentum, did you check every carriage?
No, I did not have time.
Oh boy, this is
Want to
exciting.
go? Let's go through them, shall we?
There might be a way
What are we-
to get the
what are we
cages
looking for
down the
exactly?
same way they got them up.
Possibly. Does it look like there are pulley systems or anything to to pull the cages up and down?
Make an investigation check.
Absolutely.
What we're looking for, Phoenix, is any of the goods that were stolen, like the
11.
Drider silk.
11? As a matter of fact, the mist is cleared. So the smoke and fog and combination of mist and magical aura that has just encompassed this Coliseum has kind of settled a little bit, and you're able to look up pretty high. Yeah, there are a system of pulleys and chains. Some of them are held by rope, some of them are held by chains. But they do all seem to be going to the same area, which is, collected behind that pavilion at the very, very end of the Coliseum.
Okay. Argentum will call over to the wall. Wall darling, do you think you could help me with those wonderful muscles of yours? Let's get these cages down, shall we?
And he gives like a firm nod and is already headed to the pavilion.
Their kind of usual easy smile looks a little bit pasted on at the moment. Argentum's a little stiffer than usual.
After 10 seconds, it's easy to cross this Coliseum. There's no crazy shit that happens. You get to the side of the pavilion, and you see that the chains and ropes all go behind the pavilion. And as you turn, there are indeed a system of slapdash levers and pulleys and switches and things like that, and each of them correspond to a separate cage. And your wall, is your strength a +4 or higher?
I believe so. Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. You are able to interact with every single one of these without issue. Which one do you want to pull down first?
I guess the leftmost one.
Okay, the leftmost one, you... And this one is actually ropes, so you hear as it starts to lower itself relatively slowly, no crashing to the ground, and this cage stays intact. This one is over here by the larger cart, and inside from here you're able to see three corpses covered in rusty armor. You'd have to get closer to get a bit of a closer look, but they look to be emaciated. There are cobwebs and dust and other debris that have been in this cage for quite some time.
All right. And he'll flip the next one to the right. Like he'll go down, go down one to the right.
This one's chains. This one lowers all of the goblins, as they are able to. It's funny. Most of them are able to actually get out of the bars without issue because they're so small and thin. They're able to just kind of sideways. Shinebringer, it takes a little bit. Rockback, he's kind of a big dude. But they all manage to get out of the cages efficiently, and they start waddling over to the pavilion themselves. The whole cadre of them. Rockback, Shinebringer, Big Tooth, Glib, Jockey, they're all there. And it doesn't look like they have been hurt, or they don't look any worse for wear. They just look like they have been, imprisoned and, maybe a little dehydrated. But other than that, they're good. And they join the party.
Cool. He'll move to the next one, just one by one.
This one's rope as well. This one has one. Well, hold on, let me double check. One. This one has one. There we go. Okay, this one has 3 dwarves. 2 of them look unconscious. One of them looks like it's barely hanging on due to probably malnourishment, dehydration, a combination of magic, torture instruments, and he's got marks and stuff on his hands and his neck, and this guy looks like they all look like they've been through the ringer, and there is some movement and there's signs of life, but they don't look like they're begging to get out or anything like that. It almost seems like they have resigned themselves to being captured for forever. But yeah, there's 3 dwarves in that cage itself.
Okay. The next lever then.
The next lever is chains, and this one's a little sticky. It seems almost that
Ew.
it's very much older than the rest. Make a strength check or an athletics check, whichever one has a higher plus to it.
That will probably. I mean, wait. Do I get something extra when I do strength checks? I feel like I do. No, never mind. I just get proficiency in athletics. So I'll just roll athletics then.
Okay, cool.
Well, bam. 13.
Athletics? Yeah, the DC was 10. You're good. It's like really struggling to get this down. About halfway down, it gets stuck, and then the momentum of it bouncing up and then coming back down frees itself from whatever cog it caught on.
What cage is this one?
This one is this cage right here.
Okay.
And inside are yet again 4 corpses, but these corpses look very old. These corpses look, 20 years past, 25 years past. Yeah, and it is 4 elves that you can tell. They're very tall, elegant beings, but even more so spindly and emaciated from years and years of rot and neglect. But all of the items that they have had on them would be in these cages if you want to go up and investigate. But there's a bevy of wonderful bounties for you, should you choose.
Interesting.
And everyone has been descended from the ceiling. Now there's the cages that didn't break have tethers to the ceiling as well. But yeah.
Sorry,
And-
which cage is still suspended? Is it the big middle one or?
No, the big middle one is actually the plinth that
Oh, okay, gotcha.
that Ken was orating on earlier. But yeah, all of the cages have been descended, and everything is on the ground at ground level right now.
So Wall's gonna release the sticky handle and wipe it off on his shirt. And
Yeah, it's like this weird spider web. It's like super glue. It's really hard to get off, but you manage to get it all off your fingers.
Can will Phoenix help me look through the carriages and stuff?
Yeah, I'll give you a hand.
Yeah. After Argentum asked for the Wall's
If you want.
assistance, they were going to join with Zephyrael and Phoenix to look through stuff.
I'll just
You
give whoever
see-
has the highest investigation or whatever advantage because I can't see.
Really quick, Wall, you see the goblins form a stack as they help each other up to the top decks to help their people. They're on a mission now to kind of see what the damage is and assess everythting. Shinebringer is the last one to get up. He hands up his staff, and then Big Rockback grabs the staff and kind of pulls him up. And as he does, he looks at you in the eye, and for the very first time since you've met any of these goblins, he opens his eyes at you, looks at you, and they are clouded over with silver stars. And he gapes his mouth as they just kind of yank him up and looks at you and nods twice.
What the fuck?
Wall's
He's
gonna
just-
return the nod.
Just yoinked up the 30 feet. Everyone's like, all right, we'll be back. And then they disperse themselves into the crowd of goblinoids. Yeah, meanwhile,
Yeah. Meanwhile, the three of us are looking through the kind of like carriages and stuff.
I
Okay,
have a
so-
+6 to my investigation, if that.
You go for it, man.
Yeah, what did you
I'll-
roll? You rolled an.
I have not rolled
you haven't rolled
yet.
Okay, all right.
And you were
Give you the help
giving
action, yep.
help action? Cool, so that is
Okay.
with advantage.
Only one person needs to do
Beep,
anyway.
beep.
Oh, I thought he.
God,
is it? Oh my
Nice.
god, fuck yeah. Okay. So, you learn pretty much everything there is to know about this. This carriage in particular is less a trade carriage, and this carriage looks like it belonged more to some nobles. There's it is let me actually get the description here. It is made of rich mahogany that has faded and splintered in places. Some of the lacquer and the sealant has kind of peeled off. The once polished surface is now marred by deep scratches. There's patches of rot and bugs coming out. It looks like this thing's been here for a while. There are carvings on it and emblems and such that are visible but weathered and chipped. And there is a house seal or some sort of emblem or coat of arms on the door that is a large boar, a tusk boar within a shield of vines. The trim is like it looks like it used to be gold leaf that's since patinaed and rusted away on the edges of the edges and corners of the carriage. It is, corroding bronze and gold and bits of silver. It looks forlorn and forsaken. There are unique, ornate lanterns hanging from the front of it. They've since been, clouded over and filled with cobwebs and dust. It doesn't look like they've been used in years. And the metal frame underneath is twisted and rusted. On the inside, there are velvet seats, that are torn and moth-eaten. It looks like the inside of this thing used to be really plush and very vibrant. And there are 2 rows of seats, actually. This is almost twice the size of the carriage that Jockey brought you guys in here on. This is like almost like a bus. There are heavy silk curtains on the inside that have been, pocked with holes. There's layers of dust and grime all over the inside windows. The flooring on the inside is scuffed and warped. The crest with the noble family's crest is on either door. And there's that same boar with the shield of vines around it. But yeah, there's like footsteps and brass handles, and it just looks very, very fancy. On the inside, there are a few things. There are a couple of boxes underneath the seats. There are, it looks to be like a wax sealed letter in one of the boxes. There are, crates on the inside. There, a couple of embroidered pillows depicting a fanged beast of some kind. It looks to be a dragon, a spider, a serpent. It's almost like plushies, but with less energy put into it. There's blankets and furs on the inside as well. Looks like there's some rolled up paper, maybe a map of some kind. This looks like it was a nice ride, but the one thing that really calls out to you with the 20 is that little letter on the inside, because it doesn't look like it's been as worn. It looks like it's still kind of maintained its crisp parchment with that orange wax seal that is the boar head. Yeah, no, I don't think any of you would know what this seal is. It's okay.
I was
just so you know.
Ask, like, does the actual structure of this vehicle itself look similar to any of the other ones we've seen, like jockeys or like the other goblins cart? Like, do they look like they're made by the same family of carpenters? They all have their signature.
Very, very good question. Make a history check. I feel like that falls under that category, right?
It's fantastic. History. I'm good at these.
12.
It's also a 10.
The only similarities that you would gather with a 12 is that, yeah, this is also an opulent carriage. This is also a carriage for noblemen. This is also a carriage that carried and pushed along people of great value and renown in the area. You're not sure what the seal is. It's not similar to the one that Jockey would ride you around in, but this is definitely this is a bitchin' ride, dude. Or at least it was.
Aw.
Okay.
Argentum will open the letter. They'll just take the small knife they carry and just
You
cut through the seal.
Open the door to the carriage. You reach underneath into that small little, almost like a shoebox made of wood. It's very light. You open the shoebox, and on the you open the small lock box, and on the inside you find several things. The first thing you find is a set of several candlesticks bearing the symbol of Ilmater that you know relatively well. He's a pretty common god, especially around these parts. A pair of hands bound by a thread or rope. It almost looks a little like Catholic or Christian. It's Yeah, two hands put together in a praying position, bound by rope.
Oh, I see.
You also see the map kind of sticking out of the side, and as you kind of push it aside, it unrolls itself, and it does look like a map. Without closer investigation, you can't tell exactly what, but you take the letter out, and you You cut it open and peel back the seal and open it up. This trifold letter on this what seems to be a common parchment. This black parchment with gold lettering that is like a leaf or a relief that looks like it's been pressed on and then peeled off. But it's a letter, and it's a letter written in common, and it says to Lady Alara Barrowmore. I hope this letter finds you in good health and high spirits, but it is with a heavy heart and a resolute will that I write you, for the time has come to bestow upon you an artifact of our family's legacy, our grand caravan, that once served as a symbol of our noble heritage and unwavering duty to the realm of Lolthlorian and the northern regions. This carriage, crafted with the finest mahogany and adored in gold leaf, has witnessed every triumph and tribulation of our lineage. It bore our ancestors to celebrations and solemn duty alike. Alas, the time has come, or last time and circumstance have not been kind to this relic or our family name, and they now both stand in a state of disrepair. However, its spirit lives on, much like our own. As the eldest of House Barrowmore, it falls upon me to ensure that our traditions and treasures are passed on to those who embody the virtues we hold dear. Your steadfast dedication to our people and your unwavering courage in the face of adversity have not gone unnoticed. Your recent efforts to defend our lands from the undead threat have more than earned you the right to be its custodian. May this provide you with a sense of continuity and connection to our past, even as you forge your own path onward in the southern settlement of Downwater. I trust, with your resourcefulness and determination, you may find a way to restore this once magnificent carriage to its former splendor, or at the very least, cherish it as a symbol of our shared heritage. The crest of House Barrowmore, though faded and worn, remains a beacon of hope and resilience. With deepest respect and familiar admiration, Lord Alistair Barrowmore of House Barrowmore.
Damn.
Oh.
Okay.
Did you say Alistair Barrowmore?
Correct.
Coincidence?
He never told you his last name, but
Mm-hmm.
one may assume.
It is to a Lady Alara Barrowmore. This caravan was a gift. It appears she was protecting her lands from the undead.
Interesting.
Yes,
Wait,
there's
isn't that the chick that's into you, into your books?
no. That is Lady Zyra, Priestess Zyra.
No, I mean I remember specifically that Alistair's kid was into you too. No.
Oh, yes, his daughter.
His orphan daughter.
Assuming he is dead, yes, which I do believe we should pay them a visit if we can find time. Seems
Was
only
there
right.
any chests or silk in this carriage?
No silk that I can find. There is, and they'll sort of like call out to make sure like everyone can kind of hear. There are some candlesticks that seem to have the symbol of Ilmater. There's a map. I haven't really looked into it. There's a letter, some pillows, and plush toys. That's about it, unless you're into curtains.
I mean I'm into the whole thing actually.
They'll
if I
bring out the
touch,
whole box.
if I
I
touch
mean,
the,
if it's does it belong to someone? Can we take it?
I
the cart,
assume they
mean.
are dead.
You, as you
Great.
pulled out this box further, it seems like there was something that was spooled up behind it, and it unfurls itself along the floor of the carriage, of which you guys are both looking into. And Zeph, you immediately know what this is. This is essentially kind of like a you know what the Bayou Tapestry was? This
do I?
long
No.
Yeah,
I can look
this
it up.
long, extravagant historical record that has been sewn in spider silk of
Ooh.
battles and treaties and major historical events that the drow and humans and Goliaths and all the local species and races have kind of it's a record of all the positives. There are a few battles and things like that, and it shows who won and who lost, but it's very rudimentary. It's rather crude. But the material that's made out of looks quite expensive. Looks like it might be worth something. But yeah, and that's definitely this is spider silk 100%. But it's not like raw spider silk. This is something that's been.
Not the drieder silk we were
It is not
after.
drieder silk either. Yeah.
And we can all see this, right? It's not like a.
Oh yeah, it's just it's like it's
Okay,
along.
it's
It's
there.
this bright purple like silk that has, since it has been rolled up for so long, hasn't really accumulated any dust. So it looks relatively new.
Argentum will describe it to Zephyrael.
Yeah, you know exactly what
Oh,
it is, man.
convenient. Does it have like so I'll just ask, does it have any how far back does it go? Is there any dragons in war with Loth?
It's a rather rudimentary records of battles. Are there any dragons or
There,
anything regarding Lolth or anything like that?
yeah, there are dragons. It shows the final fight. It shows Bahamut, Tiamat, these major
Oh, what
players
the?
in draconic lore fighting against Lolth and these strange spider creatures that this is such a crude representation of that, almost childish representation of that. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what these things are, but like, yeah, that looks like a dragon, kinda. It's got wings and teeth, right? That looks like a spider, kinda. It's got 8 legs, right? It's very, very basic.
Drawn by a grade schooler type.
It does look like it's kind of made by a grade schooler, like a Sunday school project.
Well,
Yes,
how
there are. There's a depiction here of Lolth fighting with Tiamat and Bahamut.
You got all that from the drawing?
well, Ryla might make it work. I'll roll it up and then like put it in a pouch or something.
Sure.
I do
yeah.
want to
It's-
ask
it's-
though. That webbing that was shot at us from the Drider over here in the entrance, would that be like there still, and maybe it could be turned into Drider silk?
It is still there. Yeah, it is still there. And much like having raw ore, it requires a refining process in order to get actual silk from it. So you couldn't like gather up this sticky stuff and just hold it into a ball and take it back. You would need to have a talented tailor
Oh,
or
okay,
somebody who
gotcha.
is magically inclined to make this into a bolt of cloth for you.
No worries.
Wait, we're looking for
Um,
like the goods, right? I mean, they wouldn't be here.
You are looking
would
for the
they?
goods. This is not. This is a carriage. There is another
Yeah.
trade wagon over here, but it doesn't look like there's any sort of trade goods in here. This looks like maybe something the goblins raided and didn't know what to do
Mhm.
with, so they just kind of stored it here for a while. They didn't seem anything. They didn't deem anything on the inside fairly valuable. But I will say, this does look like it can be easily repaired with maybe a day or so of a talented carpenter taking care of it.
Do we know any of those good team?
I think by
There
this
might
time
be-
Sunder will I think Sunder will have already made their way over here.
Okay.
Mhm. He'll ask what we've all found, because he heard Argentum like openly, loudly, is saying what has been found, so he's coming over to investigate as well.
We have these candlesticks depicting the symbol of El Mater. There's a map,
Mm.
this letter, and that cloth that Zephyrael has run off with.
Yeah, basically nothing else.
Nothing else
May I see
yet,
the
but
candlestick?
pardon me?
I said, may I see the candlestick?
Of course. They will hand them over.
Grab a candlestick, and it's weighty. It's weighty, and while it looks silver, this is more of a pewter kind of metal. It's
Mhm.
doesn't look to be terribly valuable, but it definitely looks like it's used in rituals. It's used in summonings. It's used in beseeching Ilmater to answer a prayer, offerings, things like that. These are very ceremonial, and it's just the candlestick. It's not necessarily anything. There's no candle on it or anything like that, but could be worth a few few gold
Okay.
pieces maybe.
Interesting. Okay. I think I'll hold on to it then.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Cool. What else do you guys do?
Continue searching. Go ahead.
Anybody? Okay.
Yeah, while
Wall.
everyone's-
Go ahead.
Doing stuff. Can I check out this cage with all the dead elves in it?
Sure. Yeah. Make an investigation check with all the dead elves and shit.
With all the dead elves and
Dead
shit
elves
in there.
Love you, dude.
Scroll down to these guys.
4.
A 4. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
If you yell
So
loudly, it'll be better.
with a 4, you are able to see what exactly these elves had on them. Each of them has an amulet on them, delicately crafted with intricate elven runes. And it looks like they're holding on to it. Each of them are holding on to their amulet as they have died slowly, aggressively, peacefully. It's hard to tell, but they've been holding on to that the entire time. Each of them have very, very obvious tattoos all over their body. Are they tattoos? Are they scarifications? Are they, just like henna? It's hard to tell. But they have these markings all over them. Each of them have an ancient scroll on there, or a scroll holder at least, this small leather tube that's since peeled back and crusted over and dried out over 20, 30 years of being imprisoned. They each have an elven blade, a dagger on one, a short sword and a long sword on the others. And they're around their waist is pouches. They look to be full of something, or maybe that has since withered away. It's hard to tell without cracking it open, taking them out, and figuring out exactly who they are and why they have these things. But with the 4, you're able to see at least what they got on them.
Interesting. So wait, so the tattoos or whatever that they have, do they look like Zephryl's tattoos?
You have seen Zephyriel enough to know that they are similar. They may have different meanings because it seems like each of these tattoos has a different personal meaning. But yeah, they do look similar to Zephyriel's scarifications.
Oh.
Mm.
All right. Yeah, Wall's gonna get up and not really touch anything else and rejoin the others.
Okay, coolio.
What
Nice.
did you find?
There was a cage full of dead elves, and they had tattoos that were very similar to yours, Zephyriel.
There's also
Oh.
a cage that is immediately behind this carriage too. Remember.
And there is a cage immediately behind this carriage as well.
Astute.
You look into that one. I'm going to go look at the elves. And our gentleman's going to dash full speed over to the elves.
Wall's just gonna take a look at this cage then.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Both of
Go
you
for it.
make additional investigation checks.
You got it, Buckaroo.
Could,
What are the rest
could
of you guys doing? Yeah.
could we search the merchant's carriage?
You got it. You
Two.
got it. A 2.
Yeah, I was gonna
Okay.
say.
17!
All right, so we'll go with Argentum first. With a 17, you're able to tell. You have a good grasp on not local history, but elven traditions.
Mhm.
These tattoos, while they look similar to what Zeph had, these are tattoos that mark exiles. These are tattoos that, especially since you speak Elvish, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it along their body it tells of their crimes. It says exactly what they did: extortion, murder, interrogation, all sorts of just villainous things that they have done. It looks like they may have been
Oh.
just, captured on the side of the road, or as they were, that elves tend to keep to their own. They keep to their own kind, their own location, whether it be in a forest, a wood, a mountaintop, a seaside resort, whatever. Right? They tend to be rather insular, almost xenophobic. And since these guys broke the rules, they were exiled out and cast out. You have to be able to get into the cage to get anything else, but that's what you can read on each of their arms. Very silent history of their past.
They aren't drow, are they?
Did normal elves?
They're so old and they've been dead for so long. The only real inclination you get of them being elves are their knife-like ears. But that's about it. The skin, it's so ashy and gray and decrepit, almost like mummy-like. It's dried and atrophied. Hard to tell their exact species. And who else rolled? The Wall, you rolled too?
I rolled
The
a
wall
2.
Roll, yeah.
You rolled a 2. Okay.
Nice.
We'll finish
good.
up with Argentum first. You got a 2. Yes. What else would you like to do?
They're gonna try to. I'm gonna look at my spells real quick to see if I have anything that can break a lock easier than a me. Otherwise, I'll ask for help.
I have a spell that can break a lock easily. It's called Ask the Wall.
Hey, Wall, can I get a
Hold my
fist over
fist.
here?
It only requires verbal components. It's pretty efficient.
I'm gonna fill that water up. I can hear you guys. I'm just my
all
mouth
right.
goes slack for a bit. I'll be right back.
Yee.
No worries.
Argentum will call out. Does anyone? Is anyone good at picking locks or anything like that? I would very much like to take a closer look at these people.
What's with this sudden fascination of dead elves?
I was gonna say. Kind of in a hurry, huh?
I'm just interested in their histories. I'm reading their tattoos. They were exiles of elven culture. The tattoos, they state their crimes.
Hmm.
I think I can help with it.
Interesting.
Sure, Sunder. Do you make a sleight of hand check to
Perfect.
figure out how to pick this lock?
Love to hear it. 6.
Nice.
6?
Oh, not
Okay.
nice.
It's,
Wow.
Not nice.
it's crazy. You walk
The-
up to this thing and you don't. It's got a very low DC, so you did it. Just so you know.
Fuck yeah.
It's crazy. You walk up to this thing and you're just like, wow, there is no lock. It's just bars and two pallets almost of wood on either side. But you move your fingers along the bars, each one of them, and you find as you move your hands over the pallet and getting really close to some of these old, gross, dead, cobwebbed elves, your hands find a board that gives way. And, just to try it, you depress the board. And one of the bars clang falls to the wall, falls to the ground, and opens up just enough for you guys to be able to enter and exit this exact, maybe gives you about 2 feet of bandwidth to enter and exit the actual cage itself. It was a 5 DC, so you just barely made it. But
Holy shit.
these are very old cages and stuff, so it's pretty simple and easy to open them up. What do you look for on the inside, Argentum?
They're just gonna start searching the bodies, and you said they were holding amulets that had elven words on them.
Yes.
Argentum will reach for those and try to read what's on them.
Okay, give me just a second. All right. Okay, so each of them is holding the same amulet, and it is a series of like Celtic knots that are kind of woven in and drawn in on each other, and there are two gems. They are green gems. You're not sure if it's like an emerald or something. Somebody did something to a diamond, or something to that extent. But on the back, these knots have kind of become the elven rune on the back, and this is the elven character for the word unity, or like togetherness, or camaraderie, or like homeliness, or something to that effect. And that's the magic that it would have had, because I mean, this is an elven amulet. There's obviously going to be something ethereal or something arcane about it. Has since faded. It looks like they required maintenance. But what was there was incredibly strong at some point. But it's just a pretty necklace now.
Interesting.
Kind of gotta peel back the fingers from them holding on it to get a good look at it, cracking them away. One of them falls off.
Ugh. Argentum will take them.
You take all of them?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. You take
Just
one
robbing
off,
the whole joint.
take the second one off, and the third one is a little hard to get off. And as you do take it off, this corpse cracks off. The top half of the elf falls down in front of you, and it almost looks like it's clawing to reach at the amulet that you've just taken. It hasn't been animated or anything like that, but it's very strange. You get all three of them. You have three elven amulets of unity.
Upon it just falling in front of them, Argentum will just kind of freeze up while just holding them and just staring. And that's them.
Okay. Fantastic. All right, Wall. So you got a coup.
Oh yeah.
There are 3 dwarves in there. They are not dead. They are very, very shallowly breathing, almost wheezing. It looks like they've been there for maybe 2 weeks. You've seen prisoners of war and things like that. Very light food, light water, just enough to keep them alive, but nothing more nourishing than that. In the armor, they're wearing, leather armor. One of them looks like the clothes that they're wearing is more of like a tradesman outfit. So he's got like a leather apron on. He's got what looked to be clean at some point. They've sweated through it, and there's like dirt and mud and stuff that has been slinging on it. There's blood coming off of some of them. But it looks like the injuries that they have sustained haven't been lethal yet. One of them, the one that's the most alive, is clutching his side, and he opens his eyes to you, and he is just so weak he can't speak, but he smiles.
I will look into my adventurer pack or whatever. And can I give him some water and rations?
Of course, yeah, of course. Over the next like 5 or so minutes, you're able to break off some of these like almost like hardtack, and you get him a little bit of food and water to wet his throat and make it so that he might be able to speak. And he muscles down greedily everything that you are giving him, and you hear him cough on it, choke on it to some extent. Doesn't look like he's had anything to eat in quite some time. And he nods to you and says, "Thank you, great stranger.
What is your name?
Pepper Stillwell."
Pepper Steelwell. I do not know this name.
That's amazing.
How long have you been trapped in this cage?
I don't know. I don't remember.
How easily breakable are these bars? Out of curiosity.
They look fairly flimsy, honestly. It looks like they've been there for so long that the wood has kind of dried up to a state that they're not actually like staying in. They look like they wiggle a little bit even. You would probably easily be able to pull these off. You have a strength above 4 or above, yeah?
Yeah, +4 and above.
You can just pull them off.
You can break these cuffs.
You can break these cuffs.
Yeah, as he's talking, like Wall's gonna just start like very quickly removing the bars from the cage.
You get like 3 of the bars off, and there's a nice open area for you to interact with these 3 dwarves. And the Pepper tries to stand up but falters.
Can I like help steady him?
Oh yeah, easy. You help steady him, and he looks up at you, way up at you, and says, "Are you an angel?"
No, I am the wall from the river.
I like you. Wall.
I
He
like
kinda-
me too.
There's a lot of it. I mean, it's as much energy as he can muster. It looks like his beard is a little like thin, and it's very long and red. There's flecks of gray coming down it as well. He has a very wizened face with a bulbous nose. He's a very dwarven looking dwarf. And with what remains of his energy, he smacks you on your back, and takes you a little off guard. A surprising amount of pep in this guy's step for having been chained up for God knows how long.
That's why they call him
but-
Pepper. Right, see?
Yeah.
He's got
Yeah.
more pep than usual.
But he
That's
kneels down
crazy.
to his friends after he helps you up, or after you help him up. He kneels down and tries to wake his friends up. And after about 5 minutes of sharing rations and water and such, all 3 of them are standing up. A little bit, one of them takes one of the pipes that you ripped off and kind of uses it as like a walking stick, or a crutch or something like that. But as weary as they are, it seems like they've maintained a shrewd, observant demeanor. And Pepper looks up to you and says, "What the hell happened here?"
Oh, there was a great big battle. We killed this big spider thing, and we have. I do not know what happens next, but we have killed the Thread Father. They called him.
Yes, you were gonna sacrifice us. Oh, I thought we were done for. Izar. And his head turns to the canvas-covered carriage that Zeph, Sunder, and Phoenix are on, and he drops his crutch and says, "Oi! Back off, you heathens!
It
That's
is okay.
ours!
It is okay. They are my companions. We have come to deal with the Thread Father. We will not take your belongings.
You promise?"
If they do, I will hit them upside the head.
Right. Oh.
That'll determine.
Lolthlorian logistics role. You got a job to do. We're gonna get that stuff where it needs to go. Come on, lads. We've got to get to Bronca.
And like Wall's gonna go over to the others as they like gather up and be like,
I have freed the dwarfs from that cage. It looks like this carriage belongs to them.
And you see this gaggle of dwarves waddle over towards the carriage, and looks at you 3 and says, "Hey, which one of you's in charge here?"
Me.
Okay.
I hire 2 of them.
You
Yeah,
what?
technically he's the boss.
Hire, pay. So you understand?
hire
your-
us.
Go on.
Hire us for what?
No, I hire these 2.
Oh, sorry, I've been dehydrated for a while.
Do you Pleasure to meet you. Argentum Rillis at your service.
Usual.
No
And
problem.
he puts out a hand and really ruggedly slaps it. And it's crazy how much energy this guy has for somebody that has been emaciated for so long. Pepper Stillwell, East Lorien Logistics. Ugh. Pleased to meet you, Argentum.
Pleasure.
Logistics.
Hmm.
Do you have any knowledge of repairs or otherwise? I believe we could probably use this carriage to, well, bring things out of here. What exactly? What sort of job did you need to finish in Eve Branca?
What are you
We're,
transporting?
Well, anything that needs to be transported. Mostly things from the south of the region, the breadbasket, moving up toward the north in the tundra. Let's find my manifesto in here somewhere. And he like hacks up onto the wagon and leans over and starts rummaging through papers and crates and charts. And he pulls out. Here we go. An assortment of books, trade goods, silk dust flower, great art, and
Oh
let's
my
see the
God.
specifics here. Compendium of the Wild, Chronicles of Eldritch Beasts, Grimoire of Arcane Artifacts, Enchanted Land Atlas, that one's worth a pretty penny, Honeymead, Dry Fruits, Woolen Cloaks, Spices, Herbs, let's see, Copper Sun Olive Oil, great brand that, Desert Glow Citrine Gems, fresh from the caves, Fire Bloom
think we
Dried
get it.
Chilies. Are you sure? I could
think-
go
I
on.
think we
There's
get
a
the
lot
point.
here.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, actually, you know what? What's interesting is actually, I think you're the job that we were supposed to be doing here.
What?
We
He
actually
looks at
came
his
here
friends.
to save some goods. And if these goods are being transported by you, then actually, we're doing the same job.
Sweet.
Well, rather, to add on to what Phoenix said, we were sent to find out what was happening to the goods.
I'll tell you what happened. Those little shites up there shot us with arrows, pulled us back into the land of moans and groans, and we've been here for weeks, I think. I'm not entirely sure. What year is it?
Well, let's be very sure. Where is the duskflower pollen and the silk being transported to?
It's being transported to the trade district. There's a couple of. There's a fine lass we met over Scry, a fine lass who needs dried her silk for a couple of more clandestine clients, and his books for the local bookseller. Fine lad they got with him. Cute as a button there from us.
It was very adorable.
That sounds right. What about the pollen?
I didn't say anything about any pollen.
I recall you saying duskflower.
No, I also heard you say duskflower.
He squints
did
and
read
looks
off
at his
the list.
friends. And they nod. All right, but you have to be careful. It's dried. One shake! And all of us are going to be saying yes.
Huh.
He reaches into the carriage itself where he's at, shifts aside some boxes, and almost like it's like full of dynamite or something, or a trap or a bomb. He pulls out this square chest, and let me get this description up because I'm proud of the way that I'm how flowery I made this.
Okay.
Yay!
So gotta find it here.
And just a question here. You're transporting it, this, somewhat haphazardly dangerous substance into the city?
Yes, but generally it's held in such a. I'll show you. Give me just a second. And
He's a man
oh
of
my god, where the
logistics.
fuck did I put it?
Man of logistics.
Okay, so he pulls out this thing. He very very slowly steps down, actually using the steps from on the side of the carriage and creaks open this small enough, box of dried flowers. And on the inside, you see very, very vibrant, almost glowing, is these pistils. These
Pistols.
little, not pistils, but parts of a flower. These this cluster of pollen at the head of each of these deep, velvety, like bulbs that have been very, very dried. These look very desiccated, but in a way that preserves them and makes the pollen, easy to extract. They are like almost like roses or a combination of lilies and roses. The petals, look like they are soft and they would smell good. They look beautiful for decoration, etc. But yeah, it's the whole flower, about 7 inches long. This dusk flower is, there's maybe 12 to 24 of them in this box stacked on top of each other and placed in such a way that minimizes motion, and it makes it so that they're easy to transport. But hey, these are the dusk flowers. Why? What are you making with them?
Oh, we're not making anything. I
Wondering
am
where it's going.
wondering where it's going, but I'm generally familiar with some of its uses. So I'm just curious.
Okay. He closes it back up and puts it back in. So, is that all you needed? Just the dusk flower and making sure this stuff gets back?
Are you departing with the dusk flower?
I aim to as soon as we're all ready. As soon as I am ready. I need to get a horse or something to take this with us.
I have a
Good
horse.
thing we have one.
Where?
Yes. She is waiting for us outside the cave. So you
I
are-
don't think you're hearing us, Pepper. Where are you taking the dusk flower?
Well, he looks at his friends and they give him like the kill signal, like to cut like against their neck. I don't think that you're in position to know that information.
We saved your life. We might even offer you a horse because these folk are quite nice. I think we are very much so in the position to ask where it's going.
I mean, I agree. I think we could be on the same side here. We could lend you the horse, help you get back to town, or we could deliver the goods ourselves.
There's a Reformed Church of Loth that needs it for their endeavors, spycraft and the like. It makes a wonderful perfume too, if you're so inclined.
Perfect,
from
and I
that
am in the
church,
great
then.
position to ask about this. I come from that church.
Oh, could have fooled me.
Oh, and why would that be?
That's so funny.
It's not hard to see. I could see you from a mile away, friend. You ain't fooling nobody with that get up.
Yeah, I guess the cat's out of the bag.
So, why so hesitant?
Because it's a valuable item, my friend.
Yeah, and our
Lady
friend here actually runs
Zyra, Lady Zyra pays. Ah, shite.
Oh, we
Whoa.
have
No,
met.
you didn't hear
Lady
anything. I
Zyra.
said I sneezed.
Isn't
You mentioned the
hold
Han
on.
lady.
Arjana,
She's-
isn't Lady Zara your girlfriend?
We are not dating. We had one tryst. It does not mean we are dating.
Damn lady.
It fooled me.
How do you mean?
Well, the way
The-
he reacted this next morning, seems
Oh,
like
yeah.
seems like something would happen.
However, I wasn't aware that there was a Reformed church in Yabranka.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're the Reformed Church guy.
You
You
didn't
should know if there's a Reformed Church in Bronca.
They don't like to advertise themselves very much. It was hard enough getting this job. High paying one at that. Churches have deep pockets.
May I roll insight, DM?
Sure, yeah. What are you trying to suss out?
Just if this is really where it's going. Just mostly because he said that this particular transport was going to Eve Bronca.
Mhm.
Most of it's for the trade district, except for this one thing. And if there actually is a Reformed church in Ibranca, then
Sure.
I'm totally wrong. But that's my insight. Okay, I rolled an 8. Dude, these rolls suck.
You
Oh my
are more
God.
inclined. You're more inclined to go with the information that you've been given, rather than trust this guy that's honestly probably delirious and maybe giving you inaccurate information or information that just gets him out the door faster.
Hmm. Hmm.
All right, let's get out of here, boys. Hey, big one, you want to drag this along for me?
All right.
Pepper, do you get paid up front or on delivery?
Why?
Why?
Because
If
If
you're
you'll
asking
be-
if I have gold on me, the answer is no.
I'm not asking. I
Look,
was
you
going
have to
to.
realize we've been nearly killed 3 times in the past 2 weeks, nearly sacrificed to some weird technically eldritch thing, and I don't want to take any lip from you. Thank you for getting us out of the cage. We're going to go complete our mission now. Whether or not you come with us is entirely up to you. Come on, big one.
He's like already lifting like the carriage thing.
And as he like gets to like right here, he's like, "Ooh, how do we get out of here again?"
We can probably guide you out, assuming we
Yeah.
are finished looking around.
Hmm.
Same way that we came in. Probably
Okay.
a good idea.
Should we
Hey,
collect Kelly and the remains?
I'll go get him.
I'm a little sad to let this whole place go. I mean, there's been a lot of tributes here, right? This can't
yeah,
Sounds
be
as
there's,
if-
there's a lot of stuff here, guys. This guy's just very pushy. I said, just to be clear, I'm not pushing you out as a DM. I'm pushing you out as an NPC. Like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
there's a lot of
yeah, of
stuff
course.
here, and
And
this
Wald's
guy
just
just needs
going
to get out
along
of
with
here.
it because
Yeah.
he asked him.
Should we check the rest of the tributes that are here before we go?
I was gonna say, like, weeks and weeks of tributes. Like, I mean, they're never gonna find their way back to the.
All right, fine, put it down. You have. He looks at his friends and kind of like non-verbally communicates a time. Fine, an hour.
All right.
We can do an hour.
So we can make it work.
All right, we'll go do our own thing. Hey, lads, check out those cages. See what you can scrounge up. And they nod, and they each spread to a cage and do a little bit of rummaging around themselves.
Mhm. Yeah, and then we can, we could bring this stuff back to this other carriage, and then we can take this other carriage too.
Hmm.
They
Maybe even
all
the big lizard.
everyone's attention is away now.
Yeah, it looks like the 2 other dwarves that are with him seem to be more academic. They look a little bit more like one of them's wearing a pair of glasses, and they seem to be almost like lore masters. They're appraising some of the weapons that the elves have. A few of them are going over to a cage that you guys, or one of them is going over to a cage you guys haven't looked in yet, and is appraising the stuff that is in there, and moving the corpses around and stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
And you guys said you wanted to look at the offerings over here at the pavilion?
Yeah.
I was gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna
Go
say.
for it.
All right. Let's see. Who had the highest investigation check last time, and who is actually going to look? And you
I
guys have-
rolled a 17 last.
Okay. And if you are going to be the one to check the pavilion, you're going to have to take that 17. Otherwise, whoever else wants to check is going to have to roll again.
I mean,
wanna
I'll
also
take
check.
that 17, but
Okay. Sweet. So you get over to the pavilion, and it is full of all kinds of really cool shit. There are, with a 17, you see what really catches your eye is something that's moving immediately, and it is a glass, like an octagonal glass chamber that's about 7 inches tall. It's not moving itself, but what's in it is moving. This octagonal glass chamber that's about 7 inches tall and maybe 4 or 5 inches wide. But on the inside is a spider that is tapping at the glass walls and moving around. And there's a small web and a stick on the inside. This is a reliquary for a spider familiar. There is an alchemy lab over on one corner with a shadowy corner of the pavilion that is dedicated, looks like brewing poisons and potions using venom extracted from maybe the spider creature himself or from the people that he has converted. There is a dead spider goblinoid on a wooden gurney that was being actively dissected. There is a couple of glands and intestines and things that are hanging out as if they've been this is what I'm looking for, and it's been there's been a pin that's put into that exact organ. There are tapestries and things like that. It looks like these are things that Ken brought from Ivbranca to kind of make this place seem a little more homely. There is a large tome bound in black leather. Its cover has a spider on it, and inside it's filled with abyssal, lots of abyssal, almost exclusively abyssal. I don't need too much unless you look at that. The spider familiar cage. There's an ornate writing desk in the back. There is a small chandelier that is actually hanging from the pavilion that's providing a bit of light. There is a very luxurious canopy bed that is off in the left-hand corner as soon as you walk in. This looks... it seems like he tried to move the opulence of the big city here in this disgusting hole. There's a small art collection that it looks like he hasn't fully moved in. And then a small selection of ancient wines and things that look to be fairly expensive. So there's a big assortment here. But on the pile of offerings, you find some mundane items. You find a tarnished brazier filled with what is it called? Incense that had been burning. You find another map here that has been splayed out. And on the map, in common, there is, in undercommon, goblinoid, whatever, it says Place of Howls and Moans. And it looks like it's a map of this cave system, right? But where it says Place of Howls and Moans, there is an arrow pointing to it, and it is a black pit.
Hey, don't leak the location of my house. That's my address.
Get ready to write some stuff down because this is actually what you get for killing the Threadfather. These are his spoils. So you find 638 gold worth of coins and art and gems and things like that. That's what the ancient art and stuff like that is. You find 130 gold, just period. You find 1,800 silver and 4,300 copper. So, do what you will with the math there and figure that out. You find cloth of gold, like vestments. These are ritual garbs, from the Church of Lolthlorian, the Church of Ilmater, the Church of Arawai that's been, around here. And that is like the material that you find, but there are also other, things that I had described.
So man's got money.
Yeah, he does. He was a councilman.
Should probably divide that up evenly, yes?
Yeah, we can do so. I mean, before we do though, I mean, we only have like an hour? Question mark. Should
Yes,
we?
we can
Is this? Is
take it
this?
all and do it later.
Is this all? Like, not to sound, not to seem like uh, not.
Is this all?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
are there any other doorways like out of this area other than the one we came in?
the only one out is the one you came in, or
Okay.
if you climb up the stadium seating, there's all sorts of ways out. There are,
I see.
it looks like they lead back into the same, like almost like Swiss cheese of stone rots, caverns, and tunnels and pathways and things like that that make up this city, this goblin town.
Before we move on, could I do a quick, like, sweep of all the cages just in case we missed anything?
Sure, go ahead. Make one last investigation check.
I hope I roll more than a 5.
As do I.
No, it's even worse than all
honey,
of them.
baby boy.
Oh my god.
There's so many
Refresh roll
single-digit
20?
rolls.
I am going to give you, since you have looked in several of these cages, I'm going to give you advantage because you know where the cages are. Just roll one more time. That's absurd. You guys have been okay.
Hey, that's
all right.
over a 5.
Oh my
So
God.
the last cage that you guys haven't like fucked with, one of the goblins is actively looking at it, and I will say, because he's looking at it, you got advantage as well. On the inside of this cage, looks fairly familiar. It looks like these are two valiant like horsemen. They're dressed in the like chain and leather armor. Looks like they've maybe been captured and then sold to the goblins or captured by the goblins themselves. These are Riders of Koff. They have that emblem on their tabards, and they've probably been here for, again, almost 20 years. The emblem looks like it's been like an older version of the emblem. Their armor is dented and rusty, but they have a holy symbol, like a knot on one and an ankh on the other. There's a tattered banner that they have with them there as well. It's a horse instead. It is wreathed in flame because it's an older emblem. But with one of them is an old map of Ivbranca and the settlements around Ivbranca from 20 years ago. There is a date that is 20 years to the past. Ivbranca seems much smaller, almost like a settlement. Downwater is a settlement and has prominent trade routes. But much of the area that is not on the highway or off the highway is unexplored. So yeah, it's like a frontier almost, and these seem to be ancient, older Riders of Koff.
I guess I will take the map.
Sure.
And
Good idea.
well, we'll say like, "Oh, I'm sorry for taking this."
His arm kind of falls off.
And so was that the only thing of note in all the other cages? Everything else is like empty-ish, or?
Yeah, everything else is either empty or everything of value has been plucked from it. You obviously, these knights have swords and armor and things like that. If you would like to take that, that's probably worth money. But you guys got to carry it out. It weighs a lot. They're not particularly nice or well kept pieces of armor and weapons. But if you guys keep track of it, I'll let you sell it. Just got to make sure that you keep track of what you got, and you'll probably need that carriage or the cart at least.
Yeah, well, it's not gonna grave rob too much, so he's just gonna take them
Sure.
out.
Okay, cool. All right. Kelly turns to everybody, and you hear, well, he doesn't turn. You just hear Kelly say, "Guys,
Yes?
guys," and
that doesn't sound good.
he's over by Ken's corpse, and he had knelt down next to it, and suddenly the lighting in the coliseum grows dim. And Kelly goes,
Boss music
guys,
type.
get over here.
I get over there.
We go over there.
Running.
We're gonna go.
And as you run up, you see the corpse of Ken Magane begin to twitch
Oh no.
and groan as you see light purple begins to pour and fall from his eyes as they flash open.
Can I
He
shoot him in the head?
sits upright. Sure, go ahead, make an attack.
Oh shit!
Then I also like swing with my glaive at it.
Yeah, go
Wait,
ahead.
you
Go
think
ahead,
I'm
make
gonna
attacks.
wait?
Make attacks.
I think we're
Whoever
all
wants to
gonna
attack him, make an
fucking
attack.
attack it, dude. Fuck this.
There's no way.
12 hits. 24 hits.
I'm not gonna wait.
Yeah.
14 damage. I did max damage.
Okay, cool.
Damn.
What do you guys do to him?
That's crazy.
He sits up. There's an unnatural resonance that like chills the room. How do you guys like what damage do you guys decide to do to him?
I'm just gonna shoot him in the face with my
You
spell.
shoot him in the
as
face.
usual.
The laser peers through his skull, out the other side, and all it does is cause purple light to spill, almost like you hit like the blood has been hit with UV lights, and the spattering of blood that hits the sand and the wall starts to glow and sizzle as it sheds light across everything, and his head kind of bobs back to position, and he stands up.
I wanted to.
What else do you guys
make
do?
My attack, like straight
Yeah,
up
go
trying to behead him.
Okay, cool. And I think you managed to. His head rolls into the pool of blood that once was, and it rocks back and forth as his mouth hangs slack open, and you hear. And the head looks at Zephyriel.
Standing in front of the dragon.
Zephyriel, the fallen. And the head rolls around and turns to the wall and says, "Whoa, the hidden." Stares at Sunder and says, "Sunder, the bloody fist."
Can I shoot him again? Is my turn? yet?
Sure, go ahead, shoot him again.
Shut this head. It speaks.
12
to me.
hits. It hits the
He's beheaded.
yeah, it hits his head. It
Actually,
blows out the other side of his skull. Right at this point, the top half of his skull is gone, so it's just his mouth that's moving and like his nose that's inhaling stuff. And you hear, "Phoenix, the false one." Do not mistake this for a victory.
What about Argentum?
Argentum here? I don't know where their paw
Yeah,
is.
no, Argentum ran over with everyone.
I definitely say that.
Argentum,
What about it?
the author.
Motherfucker.
This is the beginning. The weight of this word, all of his words begin to settle down on you guys, and the silence creeps in. It feels as though he's enclosing you all in a vacuum, Kelly included, who is looking on, mouth agape. I commend you on your prowess. As the bottom half, this is crazy, the bottom half of Ken's head begins to float as it hits about maybe 12 feet high, and then an ethereal image of none other than Veyround in this purple, hard light begins to manifest itself around the corpse of Ken and stands as proud as he would as if he is there, but with just some mild manner of detachment. You defeated a servant. You webbed a fly. But you've proven yourself more than a mere nuisance. You've become
impossible to ignore. My influence spreads far even now. My army grows with every passing day. And you have interfered with the only logical path forward. The righteous conclusion that will bring order to this chaotic world.
He looks through you, Zephyriel. And a low, sinister chuckle begins to fill this small area that he's kind of like the darkness has kind of made this into a very small room with you guys in this 12-foot tall apparition of Veyroun.
Again, do not mistake this for a victory. Mark my words. Each of you will come to regret your meddling, and you, War. The sword of the Silver Sister, like every god, comes with a price. Wait till she asks for hers.
I am not afraid of you or any of the gods. And you call your servant a fly? That makes you a little fly master, yes? I will cut you down the same way I cut him down. You will all die at my feet.
He smiles at you and kneels before you and looks through you and says,
I will find ways to make each one of you suffer.
Can I channel divinity
go ahead. Would you
and
like
do
to do?
conquering presence?
Okay.
And it would force chosen creatures within 30 feet to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
I'd be choosing Veyron
Obviously.
or Ken Magane or both.
Okay. Oh wait, what's it's just a saving throw, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh
You
my
got a
God.
nat one, baby!
Dude, he fails by 1 with a natural 1, which means he's frightened. And the way that
Okay.
this happens, it's like a billowing boom comes out from Zephyriel's feet as like shadows begin to kind of move out towards him and kind of cloak around Veyron. And Zephyriel just says, "Go fuck yourself, son
He
of Lord."
cowers for just a second before. Well, no, he can't do that because what if he's doing? Okay, shit. All right, he cowers for a second. The darkness grows. You feel it, but it's trying to press in further. But you and your divinity are pushing it back. It's hard. It's very hard. But you manage to make space for you, your friends, your dragon friend, Kelly.
Sunder, your strength will become your greatest weakness. Wall, your defenses will crumble. Zephyriel, your fall is far from over.
Can I shoot him again?
And Phoenix,
You can try and shoot him again, yeah.
Oh no.
16.
16 does not hit his current presence.
Oh, he changed.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
in Zephyriel,
Or sorry.
Phoenix, your lies will be the undoing of everyone you know.
His voice grows colder and more intense.
Remember this moment, heroes, for it is the last time I will let you feel your triumph. From now on, every step you take will be shadowed by my wrath. I will make you beg for mercy so intensely. This world will see the truth, and you will be the first to witness the inevitable rise of my dominion.
You gods are all the same. You love your pretty words.
He's gone.
Well,
The bottom half of his like jaw that Ken still has remaining just falls to the ground. The light returns to the coliseum.
He is afraid. He is afraid!
as I said, Zephyriel, you are spookily gorgeous.
That presence lasts for 1 minute. I will let it rock the entire minute.
Sure. Yeah, of course. There's it's strange not having anything to contest it. You know what I mean? There's nothing there. It feels pure. It feels right to you. And sure, for the next minute, everybody feels a little bit more confident in themselves. And while you're right, he is a little afraid.
I know that
There
weapon
was
is
this
fear.
bard that came to the tribe once, and it said something. He said a funny little, how you say, metaphor. He said, "Scared dogs bark the longest." And they talk so much. He is terrified of us.
There's a lot of words. There's a lot of
I
words for
don't-
someone who's too much of a coward to be here in person.
You're right. You know, I'm a little offended. I don't think he likes me very much.
Yes.
Next time I see
I
him.
don't think he likes any of us very much.
The dwarves are waddling over at this point after seeing a little bit of what happened. Is everything all right over here? It was a little strange to say the least. Are you all done yapping?
Well, we certainly should have tapped him twice the first time. That's for sure.
Probably would have been smart.
Kelly looks at the corpse of Ken, the decapitated. Just you guys just kept. It's like you took a shotgun and you just kept shooting him after he died, and it's just like he's just a meat pile at this point. And Kelly says, "How the fuck are we gonna find out what to do?"
We follow the clues that are laid before us.
What clues, Argentum? I'm beginning to lose hope.
Listen, I believe he gave us more information than we are realizing at this moment.
I can agree with that.
Give it a little time. I will pass through what I remember him saying. I will try to start putting the pieces together. I agree with the wall. I think he is more afraid than he is letting on. He is scared of something. And thinking about it, it's... I don't know how to put this, but it feels like Lolth's children are almost rising up in the absence of her. You know? It's... I don't have a clear picture of it yet. I'm trying to put it all together, but it's still muddy.
Yeah,
there
don't
are
worry. We'll
clues.
wait for the book to come out.
Hmm.
Don't worry, I'll change your names when it comes out.
That's
I-
the read you get on Veyron.
You might as well give us all our titles, as he clearly gave us a bunch.
Oh, yes. Zephyriel the Fallen. Wall the Hidden. Sunder the Bloody Fist. Phoenix the False One. And Argentum the Author, because that's creative.
Yeah.
I do not understand. He call you author, but I am not hidden. I am here.
I
It
was
would be
gonna
very
say,
hard to miss
The
you.
wall is the most unhidden person in this entire realm.
Exactly. You are correct, Phoenix. Yes.
I wonder
Well-
how much the titles actually hold water.
Yeah, my question is, why did he only ever address you guys? There's a dragon right there.
I believe
And-
because we have been a thorn in his side since he appeared at Baron Etto's send-off.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
There is still the problem of the driders underneath the city.
Oh,
Right,
shit, I
Flower.
forgot.
Although, no, wait! The dusk flower.
You found it.
Yes,
They have a
wonderful.
crate of it.
we have the crate of it. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Kelly,
We gotta go. Yeah,
we do. Did you manage to speak to Zyra about it?
I did. She's gonna be able to form some sort of aerosol poultice. We just have to get it to her. She'll need about 8 hours. We can't be late.
Okay. All right, well then we'd better get going.
Hold on a
hungry.
second. And you see a row of very familiar goblins at the top of the coliseum chairs, like the viewing area right here. Hey, we and he hops down and he's agile enough to walk up to Argentum. Jockey does and says, "Hey, we." He looks back at his friends. We're a little lost here. We really don't know what to do anymore. There's been
Jockey
fights that are breaking
speaking-
out. He's speaking in undercommon towards you,
Gotcha.
Argentum. There's fights breaking out. People are we're trying to find somebody to tell us what to do.
Argentum will approach and kneel down to Jockey's height, and they'll say also in undercommon, well, I think from here on it's up to all of you to forge your own path. You were following the Threadfather for how long?
A few months.
Can you fill in some gaps for me, Jockey?
I'll do my best.
Those elves and some of the other corpses, they appear to have been here for a long time. Was that
Yeah.
your people that brought them down here?
No, it wasn't us, and he gestures to his friends, but it was us, and he gestures to the whole Coliseum.
I thought as much. Well, you work in the city.
I do, and
Is there...
scared to go back.
Hmm.
What is it that they are saying, Argentum?
They are
Something about
not sure.
jobs.
They're not sure where to go from here. They don't.
You do, in
um,
fact, see, as soon as he mentions it, you do, in fact, see, like, several fights that are breaking out pretty deep into, like, the tunnels and things like that. You hear almost what sounds like, riotous arguing and things like that from different goblinoid vocal presences.
Oh,
Um,
I have an idea, Jockey.
It was,
Your people were, well, they were taking from all of the transports and such, yes? What
yeah,
if...
he looks a little guilty, but yeah.
What if you start doing the opposite?
Wait, he looks very taken aback. Wait, just give it back?
Well, yes, but also... You can make Downwater your home still. The Boulay is gone. But there
Right.
will be more transports coming through here. What if you ensure that they make it to the city safely? That would make sure that your people or make it more likely that your people would be ingratiated with the people there, and it would give you some purpose. And I think with your leadership, they might be in good hands. You understand the city.
You're right. That's a great idea. I have one condition.
Yes.
We get to work with him. And he points to the dragon.
I think
What is
that
he- what is he
can
pointing
be
at?
arranged.
Is it?
Well, at least until he's healthy enough to go back to wherever he came from. I'm not exactly sure he even got here. Ken brought him in. It was a gift to us.
How exactly do you want to work with him?
Well, if we're going to protect the caravans coming from the east, what better way than to go
Have
to the
a
dragon
wormling?
outpost? Yeah. And I'm
I
sure
like
if we
that
take care of
idea.
him, maybe he'll, I don't know, maybe he'll warm up to us. I don't know too much about him, but... And he looks at him as the dragon is like sleeping and blowing like blood bubbles out through his nostril. He's gonna need a little bit more rest, but hopefully if we feed him and take care of him and listen to him, maybe he'll treat us kindly.
He's
I
not uncommon,
do-
right?
No, that's not uncommon. That is all an undercommon.
Yeah, we're gobbling
Yeah,
gobbling
yeah,
at
yeah.
each other.
Could I make a suggestion?
Yes. What is it?
Sorry to interrupt. Could you have them start spreading the word amongst the goblins about how much of a weak dick Veyroun is and how they should turn to the
That's not a bad
Reformed
idea.
Church if they're looking for faith?
I like the
And
propaganda.
I smile.
You are something else, Ephrael. I mean, yes, but
Could you
you're
relay that?
fascinating. I can.
I was going to suggest that since they love to fight, they could become mercenaries and,
Yeah.
I don't know, ensure safe passage for the caravans that are coming by.
Oh, darlings, I have already suggested as much.
Well,
You are
Way
smart,
ahead of you.
Argentum!
Thank you.
Maybe
I-
not all of them want to fight, so that's good for them to have options.
They want to keep the dragon wormling as protection for the caravans, and I think that is a wonderful idea. And should the dragon wake up, I can talk to it.
You can
I
talk to
speak-
the thing?
I speak Draconic.
Okay, how about
Um,
you list off the ones you don't speak? That's probably easier.
Let's see. Recently, I have learned a couple new languages, including Draconic.
Oh, yeah,
speak-
just recently.
Goblin. I've been studying. What do you think I do?
you guys notice out of the corner of your eye, and so does Jockey, who immediately rushes over to him, but Shinebringer just appeared next to the dragon and is like very like Yoda-like touching the side of the dragon with his staff, and the gem on the staff is beginning to glow as he is muttering something under his breath in Undercommon and Draconic, like combined in these weird broken sentences. What are you doing? And he runs over to Shinebringer and kind of like tries to shake him and stuff, and there is no response. He is just like chanting, and his eyes are open. There's that silvery starlight that is there, and he says nothing. The dragon's wounds begin to close up even more, and the dragon's eyes open. And what was once like bloody, kind of like burst blood vessels is now this beautiful purple globes that kind of scan the room. And you hear for the first time a full-chested inhale from this dragon, and you feel the air being pulled around you into this dragon's lungs, and sand and dust and mist clear out. And he looks at the group.
What the?
And I mean, it's hard for a dragon to look nice because he doesn't. He looks very, very like angry and intense at all of you. Except for Shinebringer, who's he's letting continue to do what he's doing. It seems like whatever he's doing hasn't stopped yet.
He's just a baby.
Argentum, as he inhales and then exhales once more, you speak Draconic, yeah?
I do now.
You hear.
Brought me.
What do you say?
A fool by the name of Ken Magane. He is dead now.
And you hear.
Good. I hear hunger.
And all of you guys hear like it's crazy creature noises. It's even like kind of scared the goblinoids who are above and around the Coliseum back a little bit.
You are hungry.
You are dragon.
He twists his head, kind of like a puppy looking at you.
I am not a dragon.
You speak the sky tongue.
I do. I speak many a language.
He walks close to you, and you hear the chains drag, and Shinebringer backs up. He kind of falls back on his ass, and Jockey goes over and like picks him up, and you hear as he walks over like Zeph, and kind of moves Wall to the side and lowers his head down to Argentum.
Curious creature.
He chuffs
Argentum,
air
is
at
this-
you.
Is this going okay right now? Can you feel this?
Everything is all right. I am just conversing. We are introducing ourselves.
And the dragon scrapes one claw into the dirt and then another claw into the dirt. I mean, and Zeph and Wall have kind of been pushed to the side a little bit. Nothing aggressive, but like, a more of a like move or I'll make you move. And he bows his head and then uses the like oar-like protrusions on his muzzle to kind of dig into the dirt and shows his name in the sand that he has drawn.
I am Darkoesta.
He spelled it in the sand, right? How do you spell that?
It's just a bunch of claw marks.
Oh.
It's draconic.
It's written in
course.
Draconics. We can't even read it.
What?
How would you spell it?
Let me get his name up really quick. It is
Yeah.
DAR apostrophe KOASH apostrophe TA.
He says his name is Darkwashta.
Huh.
Am I saying that correctly?
He doesn't like say yes, but he gives you a positive ruckle.
What sort of food do you hunger for?
And he says,
Horse.
I
Oh, we have
We
one
do
of
not-
those.
the horse that we have is not for eating, but
he looks around at the Coliseum.
Goblinoid.
And he kind of walks past you, Argentum, towards everybody in the stands and starts to climb
Oh
up.
no,
And
he's gonna eat them.
he is going to attempt to eat a goblin.
Are there a lot of like dead goblins on the
Not one of
ground?
our
There are a
goblins.
lot of-
but-
he goes for one of the dead ones first, and he scoops it up into his mouth and throws it into the air, and you just hear a intense clacking, almost like an alligator snapping its teeth together as it eating him like gummy bears. There's like one in the air, and then there's another two in the air. He eats them, swords and all, daggers and all, as they kind of, you see them going down his gullet. And he curls up again in the far end, like over here.
He says, enough for now.
I say, did you tell him to do that?
I simply asked him what he was hungry for, and he said horse, and I said no. And then he said goblinoid, and proceeded to eat the corpses, so no.
So he can be reasoned with.
Yes.
Jockey
Is the
goes over to you and says,
dragon...
hey, did you let him do that?
I didn't tell him to. I asked him what he was hungry for.
Tell him not to eat any living ones.
I can do that.
Oh, God.
Argentum will walk over to the dragon. Is it awake still?
Oh, yeah. He's just barely awake. He's got one eye open.
Darkwashta, would you... I have a proposal for you while you heal. Would you be amenable to the idea of not consuming living goblins?
I could be convinced.
However may I convince you?
I need metal.
What kind?
I must start my horde.
Aww.
Is it
All
working?
right.
Ooh. I wish I could understand this.
Well, I think there's plenty of metal around here that you can help yourself to. They will switch to speaking common again. Is there any metal we are willing to part with for our dear friend here?
Does he want to eat it?
No. He wishes to start his horde.
Oh,
He wants to look at it.
Well,
Do we get something in
not-
return?
he doesn't eat the goblins.
I have two silver.
we could find, we could mine, we can find, or for him,
I have,
and he won't eat us.
I have 2 silver bars still.
You're willing to part with them? That's so kind of you.
Are you?
If it means the goblins are going to survive and spread the bad word of Veyron and the good word of the Reformed Church, yes.
I haven't talked to them about that yet, but I will.
An advertiser's fee.
Yep.
Jockey.
They also have to kneel and kiss the ground when I walk near them.
Oh, absolutely not. Don't get ahead of yourself, Zephyr.
What was he saying?
It's my 2 silver bars.
Then you don't have to give them. You are absolutely ridiculous. You understand that, right?
I mean, it's not a bad deal.
Oh my goodness. Jockey, I have a strange question for you.
Yeah, please, out with it. Is that thing gonna eat anything more?
No, it's not going to. So long as it gets some metal to start its horde.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
Zephyr, in his infinite wisdom, was hoping that you would besmirch the name of Veyron and spread the good word. As they're saying this, they're kind of rolling their eyes. Spread the good word of the Reformed Church instead.
2 silver bars.
Yeah, it's gonna take some convincing. Some of these guys were really looking forward to working with him, but maybe Shinebringer could convince him. He's the oldest one here. He's seen everything.
He seems quite knowledgeable. Adept at the arcane.
Yeah, that's putting it lightly. What about it, man? You think you could make it work? Shinebringer kind of like puts his head down and thinks for a little bit and walks over to Jockey and puts his old, long, gnarled goblin fingers on his shoulder and he says, "We can try." Smiles and then nods. And the glowing gem in his staff begins to fade a little bit.
Dude, holy shit, he even sounds old.
Do you know what he said?
No clue.
He said they can try.
All right.
I think that's good enough.
You can tell the dragon I have 2 silver bars for it. If that's enough to get it started.
I will ask.
And that it's welcome for saving and neutralizing the poison.
I will pass that on, Zephyriel. Argentum will say to the dragon, "My friend has some silver bars for you."
And his
2 of
eyes
them.
open up like wide.
I smelled something good.
Oh, Zephyriel, why don't you give them to our new friend yourself?
Well, that's gonna be fun.
I believe he wants to prostrate himself before you to present them.
Good.
Yeah,
And do remember to
where
be
have I put
polite,
those?
darling.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna give Zeph a pat on the back. He's like, you go ahead, don't worry.
Alright, you guys are
Wow.
being so weird.
Yes.
Okay.
You approach Dar
Yeah.
Koash Ta, and he looks at you with these purple eyes, and you feel centuries of angst
Yeah.
well up from your toes. He tilts his head again.
Well,
I just pulled some silver bars out and present them.
There is a snout that comes to your hand that is like, it's like 3 or 4 times the size of a horse, and it dwarfs your hand, and you feel this tongue slide out from in between these 2 massive heaps of bone and flesh, and they curl around the silver bars, and he keeps it in his tongue and puts it right next to his belly, and they just fall out right next to his belly as he kind of like a bird begins to perch upon these 2 silver trade bars, this tiny little amount of metal, and he looks to you and bows his head and says,
transgression forgiven. It begins.
You said that in Draconic though? Okay.
yeah, you said that in Draconic, so you just heard,
It really reminds me of the dog dragon from the Neverending Story. I don't know if you guys.
yeah, Falcor?
Yeah. It's my favorite movie when I was a kid.
Oh.
Same here.
Well, Ray.
He like he tucks his head in between his like wing and kind of he's very delicate with these things. This is the beginning of his. This is like a baby to him. This is the beginning of nurturing this mass of wealth and knowledge and power that he is going to get. But he's just a baby now.
He says transgressions are forgiven. It is the start of something new or something along those lines.
That's good.
When he does it,
Right.
it's cute, but when I win all the gold, you guys get angry.
Oh, because you're not an adorable little dragon, and Argentum will like pinch Zephyriel's cheek and then boop him on the nose.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, that was weird.
Okay, so
Was
we
that
just keep
weird?
giving him metal,
Uh-huh.
and he'll help us defend the caravans?
Let me confirm that for you. Apologies for speaking so much. Goodness. Argentum will say to Darkwashta, in exchange for the goblins bringing you ore and metals, would you be willing to assist them in defending this area and caravans that pass through? They are quite, well, they are loyal and they are willing.
If they defend my horde, their enemies are my enemies. Yes.
Your assistance is much appreciated. They will swap to Undercommon and say to Jockey, yes, so long as you help defend his horde, your enemies are his enemies.
Okay, so we have a chain of command now. Okay, this is good. Yeah, you see Jockey starting to like put things together in his brain. If anybody dissents, they get eaten by the dragon. That's what we'll tell him, Shinebringer, okay? And he nods his head and smiles a little bit.
Okay.
All right, maybe we can make this work. Okay.
I believe.
Come on, SB, we got a lot to do. And he kind of like hobbles over towards everybody else, and Shinebringer gets on Jockey's shoulders, and then he pushes him up to the rest of the goblins. We'll be here for you guys if you need anything. You know how to get in. Good luck.
I do not know anything that they said. It was all just weird noises. I do not understand any of these.
Glib looks at all of you guys and he says, he said good luck.
Oh, thank you. Tell him thank you.
Thanks.
He
Don't
leans
forget,
over and
spread the word.
You're all ridiculous.
And they kind of press back into the crowd, and after about 5 or so minutes of you guys putting everything together, you notice that the riotous sounds have kind of dimmed out, and it looks like they're beginning to rebuild. They're picking things up and putting things where they, quote, need to go, wherever that is for a goblin. There's some order now that there's a head at the top, right? There's somebody who is enforcing the rules. But you guys are free to do whatever you would like now. Most of the conflicts here have been resolved.
Resolved.
All right, I think it's time for us to also get the heck out of Dodge.
Yeah, let's. I think we
Pepper
can.
says, "Right, yeah, let's boogie."
Let us boogie, as it were.
Yeah, I'm done with that. I want to
awesome.
end up where this dusk flower pollen ends up, and I think the next priority is that all these driders underneath, because that happens before the big tournament.
Yeah.
We're done, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah, we gotta deal
Well,
with that shit.
Kelly
Yeah.
says,
8 hours.
We literally have like a day to make sure that this
Yeah.
goes off without a hitch, and we're already behind.
Oh.
Well, then
let's
let us
hurry.
go.
No?
Let
Let's
us
get a move on.
go see Lady Zyra. I believe she has some work
Right.
to do.
Let's pack this stuff up. Wall, you're probably gonna have to be the person that pulls this cart, at least until we get to wherever your beast of burden is.
It is easy for me. I do this for exercise.
I don't know, with all the stuff that we got in this cart, we'll see. And I imagine you guys spend the remainder of the time loading up the cart with everything that you need to have excised from this coliseum. Okay.
While Wall's doing like
af-
warm-up stretches.
Oh yeah. After about like I would say half an hour. It probably takes the better part of half an hour to an hour to get everything loaded up and ready to go. I imagine you guys leave the carriage here, yeah?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right, so you pack up the wagon, and It is a bit treacherous to get out where you came, but that seems to be the only way. That seems to be how the wagon was brought in anyway. So, can we get a athletics check from Wall?
With
Good luck, Walt. Wait, actually, yeah, that's fine. Never mind. I can't. I can't do anything.
11. Okay, cool. Oh boy.
still not rolling. I haven't rolled above a 10. I
don't
think this whole thing.
Understand. What is there? Some have we put
Yeah,
some weird
what's your
coding? I
count?
don't know.
Hold
It
on.
counts the.
I rolled above a 10 to decapitate the
Oh,
dude.
true.
Yeah.
Do we have to pay for some sort of roll 20 subscription?
No,
to
I
get
mean,
like-
this is
Let
all
us
just, like,
roll,
fucking
not like
luck.
ass.
You
Type
do
the
get
word salt 40 times.
through into the cavern, and you, with the combination of everybody, you're able to pull it. But I'll need everybody that's not Wall to make dexterity checks or sleight of hand checks, whatever you're better at.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, let's see.
Actually, I guess at this point, yeah, you know what? Whatever, I'll just do it.
I'm like, do I have any? No.
I was gonna say, I don't have any spell slots. Man.
I mean,
I have spell slots, just nothing that forkin helps me here.
just so you're aware, DM, like I do have powerful build as one of my racial traits. So
Oh,
like,
okay, yeah, then roll with advantage.
I do count as large when it comes to
That would
pulling
totally
or-
give you advantage on the athletics check. Come on.
He has a powerful build.
There it is.
I'll take that as a success. You were just one under, but you'll be but it'll heavily determine on everybody else's dex and sleight of hand checks.
Okay.
It's a
You
10.
roll.
Christ alive, guys! Jesus God! Oh my God!
No.
Juzo with the
Twelve.
The guy who's proficient with dexterity
Holy
fucking
shit.
rolled the
Okay.
word.
What a
Well,
disaster.
Ray Ray!
7.
As you guys are pulling this cart through the, you're just basically backtracking. You have to go past the on-keg pits. You have to go past where you guys ran into those traps and that giant inner lagoon that was there, all the way out to the back where you guys hitched up Penelope. You guys lose 300 gold
Okay.
to the chasms. So just
It'd be
make
like
sure
that
to mark
sometimes.
that down. It's unfortunate. You lose 300 gold as it kind of like tink, 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 like falls out of the carriage. It's a little overloaded for this particular. You know, you hefted everything that you guys wanted to take from the coliseum itself into this wagon. But you guys lose a majority of the actual coinage that you have. The trade goods and everything are still, there. You don't lose the dust flower. You don't lose any of the silks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that ordeal, though, you guys do get outside, and it is coming down snow. It is very, very heavy flurries outside. The light itself is blinding. As you got closer to the exit of the cavern, a very howling wind was coming in through. It's gonna be pretty tough to make it back. It is pretty, but you guys are in the midst of a blizzard right now. On your way back, I'm not gonna make you guys roll any checks to like keep anything there, but as you guys have already lost plenty. But the weather is beginning to set in, and we're approaching early winter. So it's quite frosty and blustery. The dwarves themselves are managing to like tie everything down as they get outside. They've put like a tarp over the top of the trade goods to make sure. One of them is on the inside of the wagon itself, just to make sure that everything stays in position. And it takes 2 or 3 hours in the snow to get through to ford the small river that you guys had to do. You decrease the cart's elevation by like 10 feet, so that was a little strenuous.
As soon as we got out, did the horse at least like start
No,
helping?
Penelope's there. Penelope's there. Yeah, if you would like to hitch Penelope to the horse as well, or to the carriage or the wagon, you can do
Yeah.
that. That's a-okay. And it's so strange that in the midst of this blizzard, you'd think that Penelope would be cold and shivering and seeking shelter and anything. No, quite angelic. This horse is just sitting there taking it. Its head is held high. It is, nibbling on some grasses and such. It notices you and heeds you as you guys exit, and walks up to the, like, clops on up to the wall, and nuzzles your arm.
Oh, good girl, Penelope. I am sorry that I am all sweaty. It is a heavy burden.
Penelope licks you.
No, 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 no.
Salt.
You do not know where I have been, Penelope. This is not good.
That's nasty.
She clops her foot on the cobblestones that make up this riverbed, and has a wet, slushy approach to the front of the wagon, as you guys get her tack in order, and understands what to do, and you guys are ushered down the creek. It takes, again, 2 or 3 hours for you to get everything down. You may have to take things out of the wagon, lower the wagon, and then put them back in, and then rehitch everything. It takes a while, but after the better part of 3 hours, you guys are back in the downwater square. Still coming down snow. It's let up a little bit. It is frigid, and I assume from here you guys are gonna make your way to Ivbranca through the main road.
Yeet.
Yeah.
Okay. And as you guys do that, as you guys get to the edge of the forest, and you push out through the trees, through the small little horse tracks that were the thin trail that led into the settlement of Downwater, you see several carriages also on the main road, the byway that is this huge highway that goes through central Lolthlorian, and you zipper on in to the ingoing Ivbrancan traffic, and as we'll call tonight, as you guys make your way to Ivbranca in order to stop the ascension of the Driders.
Ooh, right on.
Next
Right
time,
on.
we save the world.
Next time on
I
Shadows Over
I would have gone a little longer, but Leju does have to dip
Yeah.
because
I
he is
apologize.
at. It's okay. He is at Offkai, and he has responsibilities.
All good, all good.
Yeah.
But
it's
yeah,
unfortunate.
fuck yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Good set.
Very exciting. Lots happened. A lot more will happen next time. Unfortunately, we're not gonna have a session next week, because I will
Ben is
be.
being really
I have.
cool.
Well, Ben has a thing, and I have I have our 3D model debut at night at 7 p.m. But yeah, very sick, very sick party it's gonna be with a bunch of cool friends. Before we call it a night, does anybody have any cool shit that they're doing this week?
Yeah. Or is it
Yeah?
this week?
Mhm.
Or is it next week? It's next
week, yeah.
weekend. Next weekend, I will be guesting Anime After Dark at Fan Expo Dallas on Saturday. I will be there from
Felix is
7
gonna be there.
p.m. Oh, yeah! I will be there from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. If any little Velders are going to be there, I will have some Argentum prints. I'm bringing a limited stock in case anybody is there. But I'll be hanging out. Alejandro will be there. Also, today's the last day to get merch from the Sayu merch line. So if you want to do
Looks
that,
pretty
you
sick.
should. Today's your last day. I think you have
It
a few
does.
hours left. You should check out S Tier Apparel. I'm literally wearing it right now. It's some of my favorite clothing. It's super comfy. You should get some. Support my hubs because I will always shamelessly promote him as well.
Let's go! Buy Sayu merch!
Bye,
Buy
Sayu
some
merch!
merch!
Buy Sayu merch!
Nice.
Let's see. Sunder, Juzo, you said you had something cool coming up and you wanted to plug?
I do. So, as everybody in chat knows, that it is now the 1st of June and it is Pride Month.
Woo!
I will be taking place in the Together for Pride for Twitch. So, I will be on the
Oh,
front
Hell
page
yeah.
quite a few times throughout the month.
Pog.
It's
That's
gonna be
huge,
really
man.
cool.
Congrats.
Really cool
That's
shit.
awesome!
Hell yeah.
hmm Like I said, probably the biggest thing I've
Everybody
ever announced. So that's really
Go
cool
watch
shit.
twitch.tv/Juzo for more great content. He's a fantastic streamer and an even better demon. It's gonna be
I'm
great.
just a guy.
we also got again next week, same time as Shadows over Velda, we're doing our VR chat party to reveal Alpha's 3D model. It looks very sick. It's done by the same people that are doing Project Melody's video game, so they're the ones that made the 3D model. It's very clean. It's really good looking, and they went above and beyond for literally everything. We have, we got a little Claude and everything. We got all kinds of emotes and stuff like that. We're gonna give away, and we're gonna show off. It's gonna be great. Also, my band Midnight Howl released our newest single, War, on Spotify. Please go check that out. Our music video is coming on the 10th of June, but we released the single early because fuck it. It sounds really good, and you should totally go listen to it. It is currently the pinned message. Thank you, Otter. Even just clicking on it, you don't even have to listen to it, man. Just click on it, lower the volume, and give us a play. We're really trying to start getting this music into the mainstream. We're gonna throw it up on TikTok and stuff like that. So we work really, really hard on the music, and I think we finally found our little niche in our original music, and we will be putting out a cover here sometime soon. It's already done, but the cover is the reward for actually listening to the original music. Thank you so much. And
Let's go.
Let's go. Anybody else have anything cool they're doing?
Go.
My VTuber's concept is done.
Oh,
So
let's go.
Hey-o.
I'm now on the hunt for somebody to make a model. So if you're a
recommend-
modeler,
I will
Watch out.
Oh my gosh. Watch out.
Watch out.
Ben
Recommend
B-tubing.
for you.
Ben be tubing
Yeah.
soon, very soon. So yeah, that's the only exciting thing happening in my life right now.
I'm sure.
Cool.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
No, it's a
sure.
wink wonk. But all right, guys. Fantastic.
Oh, right. Sorry. One more
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. What do you got?
I will say, in about 5-ish days on Thursday, June 6th, I will be returning to streaming after quite a long hiatus. We're back.
Oh, hell
with
yeah.
some cool new
Let's go.
stuff to show off. And that's my piece.
Hell
Twitch.tv
yeah.
slash
That's
Laser
fantastic,
Show.
man. Congratulations.
Yay,
Go watch
I can't wait to
Twitch.tv slash
tune
Laser
in.
Shen.
Yahoo!
Gonna pop.
Let's
in.
go, dude.
Beautiful shit. Love you guys. Okay. Anybody else? Is that it?
No, not really.
No,
All right, sweet.
Nothing,
Okay.
nothing.
Other than that, we'll go ahead and roll credits and say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Roll.